Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. I see a lot of block parties in the chat. If you're trying to earn a copy of Tetris Block Connected, that is the ticket. So, yes. And that goes for pretty much any platform, except for some of the obscure ones like Amazon Luna or whatever. But, yes, type block party in the chat if you're looking to get a copy of Tetris Block Connected. And welcome in. So we're about to get started with our first ever party night, Tetris Block Party night. And tonight we are featuring Game Boy Tetris, and we're going to have a special NES showcase between some of our best players in the community. All of them were in the top 16 of CTWC, and one of them in the top 4, if you guys want to do any guesses before we show that bracket. And I am going to be joined tonight by none other than Alex Kerr, a.k.a. Kataru. How are you doing, Alex?
Pretty good. Yeah, how about you, Austin?
Doing good, and for some reason my audio... Well, hopefully you're getting picked up nice on the Twitch. You guys hear Alex okay? You want to say a few words one more time, Alex?
Yeah, I can say a few words.
It's probably my Discord. Hopefully you guys
Okay.
hear Alex okay here. Get a 1 in the chat. A 1 in the chat if you hear Alex. It might just be on my end. Either way, I need to get that fixed, actually. So, 1 sec.
Yeah.
Why are you so quiet? 1 moment, everybody. I swear, I just heard Alex perfectly fine before we unmuted him here.
Before we unmute.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Here, 1 sec. Let me rejoin this Discord call. Hello, hello.
Hello.
There we go. I hear you loud and clear now on my side. I don't know what that was. It sounded like you were
That's weird.
like 2 rooms away or in the basement trying to talk 2 stories up or something. But
That's
yes.
very weird.
We are about to get started here. And yes, for tonight's streams, we are inviting the community to participate. If you are streaming Tetris to the Tetris directory, we will be scouring that, or on the enhanced Discord, head to the Block Party TV channel. And I already saw some pretty skilled, not classic Tetris, well, Game Boy Tetris players submit their streams there. So we'll definitely be watching out for that. And to kick things off, also, I'll be playing a 1v1 with Alex here, using the Nintendo Switch Online functionality. Yeah, so we are about to hop into that. And here's a look at our schedule coming up. So yes, we have party nights the next 3 Fridays, tonight being the Game Boy Tetris and the NES Tetris. Next Friday, we're going to be doing Tetris Grandmaster. Hopefully you could be around for that as well, Alex. I would love to pick your brain apart for that, as there are so many little... I don't know, so many little things.
Intricacies.
Yes, intricacies, perfect word. That go into Tetris Grandmaster that it takes a lot of practice and a lot of research, I feel like, to really understand that game fully, right? I guess that goes for many Tetris games, but yeah, your brain is great to pick apart, as I like to call you the Tetris Encyclopedia. So yes, hopefully you can join us for TGM, but either way, I'll pick apart your brain here for Game Boy. And then the following Friday, we are going to be hosting some Tetris Effect Tetris Effect connected teams, in addition to some Tetris.com and mobile showcases. Also, if you are looking to participate in some tournaments, we have our first tournament tomorrow. We have some big players in there like Sodium Overdose. I actually need to take another look at our most recent registrants. But yeah, you'll have your chance to win up to $500 in prizes, so definitely sign up. And if you're looking to test your mettle, you'll be you'll be placed in brackets. If you're brand new to the game, don't be intimidated. You'll be playing against players around your skill level. And if you are one of those top players, you'll be able to play those top players sooner within the bracket, within that Masters bracket. So yes, Tetris Effect Classic Score Attack tomorrow. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, Tetris Versus next week. And then Zone Battle for our final day on August 3rd. So don't miss out on that. Really looking forward to our tournaments. And the fact, I feel like this is the first time I've really done an event that brings all these Tetris games together, which is pretty rare. So I'm super excited to see how this all pans out. And yeah, definitely a thank you to anyone who does register and participate, whether it's tonight or in the future here. All right, and also we are about to be live on Instagram, so everyone get ready to say hello to our Tetris Instagram viewers. So just 1 moment here while we get that set up. And then we're going to hop into our first 1v1 match between myself and Alex, and we're just going to kind of chill out. I don't, speaking for myself at least, maybe Alex will try to destroy me, but and explain some of the intricacies of Game Boy Tetris. Because I've actually never played. This is going to be the first time I've played the Versus Game Boy Tetris, Alex. Anything you want to like mention off the bat as we get into it here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the first thing to mention is that I think this is the first game that has a versus mode. Like, the previous Tetris games only had single player, and this is the first one that has versus, and a big, selling point of the link cable for the Game Boy. It also, for people that play NES Tetris, this came before, and the rotation system's kind of mirrored. Like whereas you build your stack on the right in NES Tetris because eyepieces and things rotates toward the right, everything rotates toward the left on Game Boy. It's kind of an interesting difference between the two Nintendo games. Um, but yeah, I think it's pretty as far as the versus goes. It's pretty standard template of doubles and triples.
I didn't realize there's a 30 line race. That's kind of interesting. So if you're quick, I guess speed is very important for this. And then also, yeah, if you make any mistakes, because there is like versus sprint modes, and even like I mentioned Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 earlier. There's a sprint mode multiplayer in there, but audio lost mic. Oh, I think we lost Alex here. So one sec. Thank you. Okay, I think they hear you now. So
Hello,
I don't know
hello.
where you were in your spiel there, but yes. So there is a 30 line. What was it? You said the
Yeah,
first player
30
to 30
line
lines can also win.
limit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
cool.
to recap, yeah, it's the first game that's got versus. There's a 30 line limit, which is kind of quirky.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
So
same
yeah,
pieces.
yeah. Oh yeah, same piece set, which I thought was really clever. Also, I
Hmm.
guess once we start playing here, we'll show that there are some kind of it shows how tall your opponent's stack is, right? Because in reality,
Hmm.
we wouldn't be able to see each other's screen, right? So
Oh yeah. Oh,
as
can
if
you
we were on the Game
share the
Boy.
screen back to me too? I actually don't see your screen right now
Oh,
either.
okay. I'm looking right at our stream scene here, so I'm cheating. I can actually see your screen, but um, yeah, like if you were playing on the authentic Game Boy back in the day, right, with the link cables,
Right. Hmm.
you wouldn't be able to see your opponent's screen. So yeah, why don't we just
Got
get
like a little
started and we
height
can kind of
meter.
talk through it here. Um,
Sure.
let's see, two player.
Get two-player opened. Yeah. You can set the music.
So let me turn down my. I bet this Tetris game is quite loud, knowing it's an old school game here.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Also, welcome in Boom Tang. Chris Tang will be joining tomorrow for a classic score attack tournament. That'll be a lot of fun. Um, all right. So, do I have to pick here? Let's see.
Yeah, I think you're in control of that.
Okay.
I'm player two. And we'll do zero height for the starting garbage.
Right. So yeah, I believe we can choose up to 5, and that is just like a B type
Mhm.
on the Nintendo Entertainment System version, NES version,
Mhm,
where
mhm.
yeah, maybe we'll mess with that sooner, but we'll start with a 0. So we'll start from the bottom of our boards. I am Mario. You are Luigi, and
Mhm.
yeah, let's get this going here. So I'll hit
Yep.
0. Does it actually?
Yep.
Are you connected in here? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe there's a stream delay. That might be what it is.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so if you see my feed here on the left, see that bar that's filling up on the left? That shows how high Kataru is stacking here. Oh, that is it. I'm gonna have to refresh your stream. That's pretty pretty far behind. Um, but yeah, this is also has it sends garbage to your opponent, just like the newer rule sets available. Like we're gonna see this in the upcoming Puyo Puyo Tetris and Zone Battle tournaments, for example. And I think it's looking like you might kill me here on this first round.
Got that early Tetris going.
So I'm gonna want to find my. I am toast actually. So Alex destroyed me here. Let me get a nice refresh on Alex's scene.
Yep, or we could try the split screen view if there's a good way for you to just have a single
That
player
is a good
scene.
point. I might be able to do that. Here, I'll just for the sake of it, I'll just refresh your stream here.
Okay.
I think it's just a little bit behind.
Gotcha. Okay, I think Whenever you're ready, I think we press start to move on from here.
Yeah. Let's see. So, okay. So, is there like a max out equivalent in Game Boy Tetris while I'm getting this set up? So, what are like the highest scores we see, and what is like the highest levels we see as well, right? Like in for the classic Tetris viewers out there, when it comes to NES Tetris, they tend to see like the what is it? Level 29 tends to be the quote unquote kill screen unless you're able to roll, right? So, what are some of the limitations in the Game Boy Tetris version?
So Game Boy Tetris, the max level is 20, which the gravity is equivalent to level 18 in the NES version, which doesn't seem that high, but it's still a bit hard to survive at that speed because the playfield is 2 rows shorter. The Game Boy screen can only have 18 rows of 8x8 tiles, so it's just a little bit shorter, so there's a less distance to fall. And also there's less delay between pieces, so if there's a problem, stuff tends to pile up really quickly, so you have to kind of be on top of that. But if you're able to survive at that speed, keep things going. Also, DAS is really not usable, so you have to be able to tap fast enough. But if you have that tapping speed, you can kind of marathon it out, and you can max out the score at 999 just the same way. Just takes a little bit more doing to get there because you're probably tapping and getting singles and doubles the way through unless you are incredibly fast.
Okay. Sorry, thank you for your patience, everybody. I knew we would have some technical hurdles, and unfortunately, when it comes to these old school games, you don't have the luxury of some of the cross-platform functionality. Of course, you mentioned that earlier, but yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties as we get this. I'm ready to go 1v1 with Alex here, but just one moment. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, so I think I can probably ready up here on my end, right? There we go.
Okay, we're good to go. Oh, I saw a question in chat of can you use rolling in Game Boy Tetris? And I suppose the answer is if you do so very carefully. I mean, if you're playing with an actual handheld, it's probably hard. You'll be covering your screen with your hands a little bit. But there are ways to play on, this is the Nintendo Switch version. You've got on the Super Nintendo, there's the Game Boy, Super Game Boy, which lets you play Game Boy cartridges, so you could use a Super Nintendo controller to roll. Or, I guess, the Game Boy Player on GameCube. There might be some ways.
Yeah, I think if there's a will, there's a way, right? I feel like. So, especially with it being available here on the Nintendo Switch, if you use... I don't know if anyone has ever tried rolling with Joy-Cons, but I'm sure there's some third-party controller you could use for Nintendo Switch that'd be...
Right.
That would allow for some rolling. And I think we finally got a battle going on here. Sending some Tetrises back and forth.
Yeah. Oh, that is dangerous. I am dead.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. My game froze for a moment, but that's just because
Alex it's just the link cable communication.
Yeah. All right, so Mario and Luigi tied up here.
Yep.
I wonder if we'll get to the... So yeah, just to remind players that in 1v1, and you can do this with your friends on the Nintendo Switch Online version, if you have them out as a friend, I believe, right? So if you're looking to try this out at home, or with somebody else on our Discord, or wherever it may be, it might be worth a try if you're a Tetris fan. This is literally my first time playing it, so I can see a lot of similarities with some of my favorite Tetris games, which kind of have the where you send the attacks to your opponent, right? There's a nice ebb and flow to that. What's interesting with this is the 30-line cap, like you mentioned, right? So first player to 30 lines could also win. Oh. So my rotation will do a square tuck there. Now you're curious about rolling in the NES style. That would be super cool. Or, I'm sorry, the Game Boy style. Looking for that long bar. This is scary.
Yeah. This seed, it does not want us to Tetris each other. Oh. Oh no.
Well, I'm not hyper tapping either, Alex, so we might be on somewhat of an
we're both just slow tapping our way around. Yeah.
All right, looks like Kataru took me out this time.
There you go. Good game, good game. I like chat is calling. You did 5 and below in yours. Oh. The adjustment. I thought about it, but it's kind of slow dropping the pieces down sometimes.
Ooh. Sorry for that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Tetris Effect connected jump scare. All right, so let's get ready for game number 4 here.
4, yeah.
And yeah, if you're looking to have your single player gameplay featured, head to our Discord, and there is the enhanced Discord at discord.gg/enhance, and there will be a Block Party TV Discord channel in the Block Party category. Drop your Twitch in there, and we'll feature some single player here in a moment after this game finishes up.
And this piece sequence is interesting.
Yeah, this game's ahead of its time with the same piece sets and garbage setting. A lot of players don't realize how early on this was kind of thought of, right? Because it's considered to be more of a modern way to play Versus, right?
Yeah, Versus has been there since pretty early on. But yeah, it's definitely oh man, I got stuck there. You got me. But yeah, it's definitely a different, there's no T-spin bonuses or combos or anything. It's pretty just straight up, and the garbage is super clean. It just sends to the hole, same hole the whole time, pretty much.
Right. You know what? Here, I'm about to try a different strategy here. I wonder if you don't want to open a Tetris with how clean it is, right? If I could just kind of play around whatever. I guess it might be advantageous to be aggressive here, but we'll mix it up here. I'm sure if there are any Tetris diehards in the chat, feel free to share your 1v1 strategy on the Game Boy Tetris.
Also, the randomizer is really mean, so I'm starting to just be okay, start throwing down some doubles.
You know if the well, does the well change on this in other games, or?
So I think I'm not 100% sure, because I know that in the similar mode in the Super Nintendo Tetris and Dr. Mario, it does change, but it changes every 10 lines or something. But this one, it might not. It might just be the same position the whole time, which means I've got to really dig this out if I want to live, because it is right here in the middle and scary.
It looks like we have the same well too.
Yeah, it should be the same.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Me, all the wrong pieces here.
I think I might be lucking out a little bit.
This is intense. Oh no, I was so close.
Yeah, the well changes every game, but I think in a single game, once you see where that well is, then you can just start piling it on.
Very cool. See if we can go for the gauntlet here. It doesn't seem like many games are going to get to this 30-line mark. I thought more would, but
no.
It's pretty brutal, isn't it?
I think if you're hitting Tetrises, it gets pretty brutal.
Especially if you don't have that, because it is random RNG, right? For just about. So you might not even get the long bars that you need to deal with those clean Tetris wells.
Right. Oh no, that's where it's coming up. This is bad.
Ooh, I'm trying to stack high on the left here. I don't know how high it will let me stack, if that makes sense. So if my pieces go over on the left, will it top me out or will it not? As long as my piece can spawn in.
You're fine as long as your piece can spawn in, I think. It won't block you out. Like, come on, like, there's not like, oh my god.
This
my
is
God,
a
oh my
crazy
God.
round.
Oh my god.
Oh, I messed up my spins, though. I'm kind of throwing.
I'm having some trouble. Okay, that's the perfect piece. But like I'm just singling my way down and not being able to hit those doubles to like really protect myself. Oh, okay, good. That's the long bar. Can we get out? Okay, perfect. Hit that.
Oh no, I'm throwing.
We're getting to the line limit.
Oh, you're beating me on that too. I almost like need to top you out then.
I got it.
Yeah, I'm toast.
And I went on lines.
I was doing great, and then,
that was close.
Yeah. I got a little too messy there. So Luigi, aka Kataru, beats me 4-2. So GG. I'm gonna want revenge at some point.
GG.
This is pretty cool. So
yeah, it's pretty neat that you can now play it on Nintendo Switch Online. Just get on there and get some versus games going. Oh, did you want to mess around with the height?
Oh, we can do
Those
that.
should go faster if we put on a 5.
Let's try 5.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because height 5, look at this, now it's just like a cheese race, basically.
Interesting. And also, I guess that gets rid of like some of the early aggression strats or like early Tetrises.
Yeah,
less viable, so.
Early Tetrises, yeah, because you'd have to stack up dangerously for it, right?
Yeah, so there would be, if you manage to get a Tetris early, however, that's just like lights out. So.
Oh yeah, it's
might
over,
be
yeah.
Risk-reward kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, welcome in Chris Higgins, nice to see you in here.
Triple.
I'm gonna try a T-spin.
Oh man, with how messy the garbage is too, it's like you can't get down to the the garbage lines down there either. It'd take forever.
Right. Yeah, whoever can get into like a scoring position first could probably take the win.
Oh yeah, I don't have your video up. How many lines are you at? I have like 12 left.
15. Yeah, so
15, yeah. Okay, close on that too.
That's a good point. Need to start going Harry Hong mode and soft dropping quite a bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was able to get to that clean. This might actually be devastating for you.
But did you get down to the... Oh, right, yeah, there's the bottom there. Oh, you got me!
Yeah,
oh my god, oh yeah, oh, death avoidance strats, oh my god.
Oh, you're alive.
You can rotate, it's like NES Tetris where you can like rotate out of death.
And the fact that it's low level, you don't really realize that because we do so many like high level starts and competitive.
High level starts, yeah. Oh. One line, 0.
Oh, you got me. Did you? Oh no, you got me on the.
Yeah, just.
Oh no, I wasn't.
On lines.
No, I might have been able to change up the strategy there.
Yeah, that was close.
Okay, well, we could, before we do 1v1 for the next 2 hours, because I would happily do that with you, Alex, let's see if we can feature some of our, let's find some single player players here on the Twitch category to commentate and see. I assume we're going to see some really skilled, you mentioned like hyper tapping, right? Just quickly pressing left and right on the Game Boy D-pad, for example, is like kind of the way to go in this game, right? I think we lost Alex again. One sec.
Audio streaming, so tricky.
Hello. I think chat might be able to hear you. It's like an issue on my... I don't know why. It sounds like you're like really far away again, even though it shouldn't have sounded that way. Let me... Here, one sec.
Hello.
Okay, I think you're
better.
They hear you just fine now.
Okay. Yeah. No, definitely. There's gonna be a lot of tapping. Like the DAS is really slow in this game. It's like around 6 times per second or something. Definitely surpassable with just pushing the D-pad fast.
All right, so we're gonna find our first player here. Let me see. I think our mods might be helping us out a little bit. Since we have Euro Kriska, our first submission here on the Discord. If you want to have your gameplay highlighted, if you're playing some Game Boy right now on your Nintendo Switch, be sure to share to the Twitch category, and we'll try to get your gameplay pulled up. We're going to try to cover as many players as we can before we hop into that special NES Tetris or NES showcase. But yeah, we're going to get Chris up here first. Have you given it much of a go? Like, have you tried to grind for high scores in this game or anything like that, Alex?
In Game Boy Tetris?
Yeah.
I mean, it was the game that I played when I was growing up. So like, I probably have like 400, 500, maybe 600K. You know, where you kind of cap out before you get to like level 19 and 20, where it gets too fast for a slow tapper.
Got it. Oh, look, I think this player is playing on a legitimate Game Boy with the color and whatnot. So
Nice.
let's check this out. Yeah, I assume some of these diehards, right, that participate in like the old school Game Boy Tetris tournaments, probably have all the hardware and the streaming setup ready to go for something like this.
Right.
All right, so let's share Chris here. Almost ready.
Oh yeah, since the call restarted, can you also screen share me again? And then I
Oh,
can
yes, I'm sorry.
kind of commentate off the same view.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, we're almost ready here. But while we're getting this set up, be sure to join our giveaway. We're giving away some copies of Tetris Effect Connected. If you type in Block Party in the chat, and we'll be giving away 3 copies tonight throughout the stream, probably before or during the NES showcase for our first copy giveaway. All right, so let's see. Appreciate.
You're still good on my mic and stuff too? Sorry to ask. I'm just Discord
I
was
think you
yelling at
sound
me
great.
for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So Euro Kriska, we're about to get pulled up here. It's not showing. One moment. Sounds good. All right, I think we are live with Kriska's gameplay here, and he is moving along. Level 9. I guess level 9 start is it already seems pretty intense, right? Like compared to maybe class or like I always say classic Tetris, but compared to like the NES Tetris, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It also looks like they are hyper tapping. The DAS is so the delayed auto shift when you hold left or right when the piece automatically moves for you, right? That's referred to. We call it DAS for short, but delayed auto shift. It's also pretty slow in Game Boy, wouldn't you say? So. Oh, okay. Right. So I'm already going to load in Euro Chris there. I'll just say Chris for short, I assume is a Chris name. But yeah, it looks like they are likely going to be our top scorer so far for the day here. Beating Howard at 100K. Mr. FAQ saying DAS is like 24 frames, then 9 frames of ARR. Could you translate that for me, Kataru, possibly? Not sure what that means. What? Okay. Okay. No, yeah. So Alex is rejoining the Discord. Um, sorry, we're having Discord sound issues. It's always Discord, but okay. They should hear you now though. Um, okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Um, all right. So it's getting pretty speedy here. Already at level 14. So Chris is throwing down, and yeah, it looks like they are for the most part hyper tapping here. Um, how many people have? Maybe chat can help me out with this. How many players have maxed out on Game Boy Tetris? I feel like it's got to be pretty hard, right? Yeah, I think Alex left the Discord call, so it's just me for a moment. That's why you don't hear Alex. Um, yeah, I guess I was more asking chat. I'm just kind of curious because I know we have a lot of Game Boy diehards in here. If anyone wants to flex their PBs or if they've had a max out, yeah, I'm not too many. I'm not too sure how many players have had a max out on class or on Game Boy Tetris. Dias saying it's been a long time, but I remember above 22 for the level, but never maxing. I did what I thought was the biggest rocket I've not tried since I was a child. 18 to 20 people maybe have maxed saying dancing long bar. Is that correct? Verified, got it. Verified max out players. So we're approaching level 19. I think it goes to show that this is a quite talented player we have as our first player of the day. Look at that lock speed, though. That's scary. So, like, I feel like the Game Boy, as soon as the piece touches the bottom, it is locked in. A nice Tetris on level 20. What is our score? 485,000. Is that right? That is right. So I believe if you hold down, if you hold down and press start on Tetris, on the title screen on the Game Boy version, you can access those heart levels, right, which are like level 19. So anyone playing at home, if you're looking to start on these higher speeds, hold down and press start at the title screen, and you should be able to do some of the heart level starts. Level 9 start world record is by this current player. Awesome. Well, looks like Chris got a 525,000. Was it 470? Look at that. We got the rocket screen, everybody. GG. Let's get that score updated. I like how slowly that rocket moves on here compared to the the console version. You get to bask in glory for a little bit longer. $525,470. Okay. Thank you, Light Rod. All right, so that is a. Oh wait, did they get a 817,000 earlier? Did we miss that? Either way, we witnessed a 525,000. Yeah, if anyone is like playing on Twitch right now, feel free to drop your scores in the chat, and we can update sooner than later as well. If we don't get to your stream soon enough, feel free to drop your high scores in the chat, and I'll try to get that updated. Also, welcome in, Alex. I think you're.
Hello.
You should
maybe this setup works a little bit better. How's this?
I think you are golden.
Okay, we'll hopefully have that working. Okay, cool. So I see that Kriska has finished their first game.
Yes, and I didn't realize they are the level 9 world record holder, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so at least in the game we witnessed here, they had a 525k, which is pretty good for Game Boy, right?
Yeah, because it definitely gets hard once you get to the level 20 speed. So that's like what you would say like a good transition type score. Getting 400, 500. Especially because the randomizer is so much more brutal too. I would say that getting 500 is a good score.
Got it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that getting like a max out, you probably are going to be doing a lot of lining out on level 20 most of the time.
Got it. For our next player, we're going to be pulling up MJ, aka Darth Bunny on Twitch. I'm not familiar with this player, but I think they are friends of Kriska here, so they might be a very talented player as well. We're about to find out. So we're going to get them pulled up here in just a moment. Yeah, it looks like Darth Bunny here from, I believe that is the Finland flag. It looks like they are actually hyper tapping on their Game Boys. So if you want to follow any of these streamers, you can see their setup. It seems like they have cameras on their hyper tapping just to show the legitimacy. All right, let's get this next player up here. Let's go with Darth Bunny. Darth Bunny. All right, so we have Darth Bunny now playing. They're a little bit high up here, but given the skill of these players, I assume, just like with with NES Tetris, players playing on this speed at this height probably feel pretty comfortable. But still, no one is safe from a bad string of pieces. Isn't that right, Alex?
Yeah, definitely. The digs are doable, but definitely you need to get a little bit of beneficial pieces to come along with it too. Yeah, and definitely this is a game that gives you very strange sequences of pieces. I think like T might be the most common piece. I pieces and L pieces come less often. It's definitely yeah. It's what it turns out to be is that they tried to do sort of like an NES Tetris type thing where it tries to avoid repetition of pieces. But there's something wrong about how the condition is coded, so it just like makes the statistics very strange.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder why that is. I guess they want the. It's almost like Tetrises are harder to come by then and here than on the Nintendo or the console version. Is that correct?
I think so. Yeah, I think the way it works out, because they're like only a little bit less likely in NES than like 1 out of 7. But here, I think L's and I's might even be lower, like 10% instead of or 13 or 14. So.
Wow. So brutal RNG on top of an already brutal.
Brutal system.
Yeah. System. with the lock speed seems to be a bit faster on here, in addition to the slower dash, right? Because I always like to use the built-in speed, but doing that here on Game Boy, I feel like I would have to hyper tap if I was going for the highest scores possible, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much a necessity to at least have some sort of decent slow tap speed. Um, yeah, yeah. The amount of time between pieces, like the entry delay, is only like a few frames, like 2 or 3, instead of in NES Tetris. Even when you're stacking at the bottom of the stack, it's at least 10. So instead of a sixth of a second, you're talking about like a small fraction between one piece landing and the next one coming out.
Interesting. Boom, Tetris for Darth Bunny, stacking high in the middle here, actually. Um, so, remind me, sorry if you already said, but is there a
Hmm.
side favoritism in Game Boy? Is it also right well?
Yep, it's left instead of right.
Oh,
The
okay.
I and the S and the Z all rotate toward the left side instead of the right side, and then immediately afterwards they change that for NES Tetris, where they favor the right side instead of the left side. Yeah.
Interesting that they decided to go that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, in our 1v1 earlier, I was definitely stacking right well. So, um, okay, that's good to know. I'll have to take some of these learnings and play some later on my Switch. But
Hmm.
okay, well they have that clean left well set up. Dropping down a Tetris. Hmm.
Oh, nice little tuck there. Okay, good.
So things like yeah, I'm not too sure how the rotation system works. Can you still do like spins and stuff like that on the left side?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just that it'll be like mirrored, right? So like the type of
Oh,
spin you have to do is like S gets NES's Z spin and Z gets NES's S spin, right? Like
right.
they're symmetrical.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so for anyone just tuning in, we are watching some pretty talented Game Boy Tetris players tonight for our Tetris Block Party night. This is our first ever Tetris Block Party night. And yeah, next week we will be hosting Tetris Grandmaster 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch. So if you are um, if you are a TGM player, definitely stop by next Friday, and we'll try to showcase some of your gameplay there as well. I'm really looking forward to that. And actually, Alex, we managed to record some footage at some live footage from CTWC this year, so maybe we can showcase some of that next week as well.
Hmm. Yeah, in lieu of being able to get some players together for verses for the stream, yeah, definitely we can show off some of the verses that we played at CTWC.
Yeah. Where personally I was getting crushed as I did not know what I was doing, but I think Eric ICX also hopped on for a little bit, and they're very talented
Hmm.
TGM players. So yeah, we'll be able to highlight some of our live gameplay.
Yeah, definitely more to talk about there when that comes up.
Hmm.
A lot of interesting mechanics in that game.
It's kind of like breaking my brain a little bit with this left well setup. And
Left well,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Score's looking pretty good.
yeah. I'm curious if they'll be able to take out Kriska here. I believe these two are friends. At least I think they mentioned that when they said they're going to be starting at the same time as Chris, so they probably are
Hmm.
in connection with each other or part of the Game Boy Tetris community. So happy to have you
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I'm also not super familiar with the current Game Boy Tetris scene, but I do know that they've got like a Discord and their own competition that they've been putting on. So
And then yeah, so after we highlight some of these single player Game Boy Tetris players, we're going to hop into a crazy bracket of NES Tetris. So it's going to be kind of a what if situation of the CTWC 2024 bracket. So looking forward to that. And we will announce the players shortly if they're not already live or spoiling it on their Twitch channels. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that as well. So kind of a broken Tetris there for Darth Bunny. think they're trying to bring their board down a little bit before these high speeds start to put on a lot of pressure, right?
Yeah, because we're about to get, we're going to transition to 19 soon, and then 20 soon. It'll just be. Actually, I'm trying to remember. I think level 19 in this might be like 20 in. I mean, sorry, I'm getting wrong. Level 19 in this might be like 18 in NES Tetris, and then 20 might be like level 19 in Game Boy Tetris. It might be something like that. I can
pull up the stats.
Gravity table. Yeah, I might have been misspeaking a little bit earlier.
It seems like, okay, I might be wrong, and maybe chat can help us out. I see we have some chat can serve as our answer as well, but I believe so after level 20, you know how on like the console version where level 19 to 20 is the same, do they still continue to build up from like say 20 to 25? Does that make sense?
Oh, the point values. I think,
and the speed as well.
Well, the speed stops at level 20. Like that is the top speed, and it is the same as like level 18 in NES Tetris as far as like how fast it is pulling the pieces down. But that's it. That's how as fast as it gets. And then I also think you can see the level counter also just like caps out there. I don't think the score continues to tick up. I think it stops at this point. Like it's not like you get to like in NES Tetris there's like talk about scaling. If you get to like level 200 or whatever, then the hitting a Tetris is just like massive, but
cool.
Not as much here. The other interesting thing about this game is that it has a sort of what's going on with the screen?
There we go. We should be back now. Sorry about that.
Oh, good. Yeah. What I was saying, I think, was just that it has a sort of like the code in NES Tetris to start at level 10 through 19. Hold A plus start. There's sort of something like that in Game Boy Tetris, but the scoring stays at whatever level you're starting at. So if you do like 0 heart, yes, it like the pieces fall like level 10 speed, but the scoring is still level 0. So yeah, level 9 starts is the meta for Game Boy Tetris.
Got it.
There's no like starting at like a higher level than that for scoring reasons.
So I think we're actually looking at Chris again. Chris is on another run here at 581,000, I believe.
I'm still hitting Tetrises at level 20.
Oh no, my system is not working as intended. Sorry, everybody. Oh no. Okay. So I think now we should be on Darth Bunny. Why is this? Okay, something is messed up on my end. Apologies for this. But yeah, I think we should be looking at Chris still.
Okay, it was saying Darth Bunny on the stream view for a second there, so it's just a little bit confusing. But you can kind of see, yeah, like a lot of lining out because like even though they have the speed there, they're able to hit the pieces over and everything. You still like want to play conservative. Hitting doubles is fine. You want to only kind of hit Tetrises like when you really are stacked up and need to do it. Okay, so like the pieces are starting to stack up a little bit. You might go for it, but you always want to weigh out if you're not getting eyepieces.
So yeah, this is in fact Darth Bunny, and they are on a 704K run here. So at least going to be the top score that we've seen so far with our own eyes. And yes, definitely feel free to submit your scores following the stream, and you can share your VOD with us on the Discord at discord.gg/enhance, and perhaps we can put together some kind of leaderboard following the event just to see who put up the best scores throughout the block party here. Ooh, we got a 539K from Mr. FAQ. Very nice. Let's get that added in here.
Definitely. That's a good score. Game Boy is a brutal game.
So did they? I think they beat Crisco's score here then.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. Oh, going for the Tetris setup. Okay, taking the triple for safety. Understandable.
So it's looking like Darth Bunny is going to top both of these scores for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I guess so. The speed never increases from here, right? So survival is
Yeah.
the name of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Like if you're able to get some setups, sometimes you'll go for it. Otherwise, just yeah, just surviving is the main thing. The first video of a max out that anyone like put up on YouTube was like Spectre's video, and he's just like lining out for like for an hour or whatever, right? Like I don't remember how long the video was, but it's like it was one of the longer videos of like a score on YouTube at that point in time, and it just lines, lines, lines.
Well, so far it's looking like Darth Bunny. They're playing super clean, right? I think there's a little bit of a hiccup
Mm-hmm.
maybe from the stream connection here, but
Right.
um, keeping it nice and low, and perhaps we'll see that coveted, that special 999,000, right? That max out score.
Yeah, looks like there's a good chance of it. The survival is going. We're already at 348 lines.
I think it probably looks more approachable than it really is, right? Just the fact that you're constantly tapping this whole time too
Mm-hmm.
um, takes a lot of proper finesse, and one wrong move and your run is completely over. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of similar to rolling to that extent, like at least in terms of how high you could probably get on your board here.
Mm-hmm.
Or I haven't actually seen PAL, like the European version of the um, console
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo Tetris in a while, but that could also be kind of like somewhat relative to this speed, possibly
Um,
for PAL 19.
yeah, because like PAL 19 is like a slower NTSC 29 basically.
Okay.
Um, it's one, falls one per frame. Um, Trying to think like I guess I'd have to like do the math, like figure out what like the piece per second, given the board heights and stuff
Mm-hmm.
are for the different versions. Yeah, but yeah, definitely the thing that makes this tough is that you have like no time between pieces. Pieces are just constantly flying, and you've got to be tapping frequently.
All right, we're about to also feature Sir 9 following this run here. Looks like they're playing on the Switch version, so we'll get them up on here. Maybe so we can feature more players. They'll do a little bit of hopping to and fro and trying to capture some of these high scores.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do want to see how this Darth Bunny run ends up. Looks like they might be on the road to a max out here, which will be really cool.
Yep, looks doable. Yeah, it's very interesting, like looking at their stacking decisions, because it's one of those things where for safety, you like if you're playing this like an NES Tetris, you definitely be like stacking up a little bit more in certain areas, but you see that they like have that fine-tuned sense to be like, okay, actually like here is where I need to actually just throw that a little bit further over and burn that line instead of stack it up.
Right.
Um, differently tuned stacking decisions, right? Oh, nice little
Ooh,
tuck there. Nice, good. Good cleanup.
super clean. Only yes, only about 180k to go here. No better way to celebrate the anniversary than maxing out the Game Boy version of Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just to let you all know, for any Tetris Effect connected players out there, we also have a classic score attack tournament happening tomorrow, 2 time slots. So whether you are on the eastern side of the world, Europe or America, there will likely be a time slot that would work out better for you. But yeah, so head to start.gg/t, or I'm not sorry, start.gg/Tetris, and yeah, sign up for the classic score attack tournament. You'll be paired with players in your own skill bracket, so don't worry if you don't want to be playing against the Alex T's and Blue Scooties of the scene. You will be playing against either other new players or other amateur players or other masters players if you are of that skill level. But all right, it's getting a little crazy here. I don't know if Darth Bunny is
Oh
going to
no,
be
yeah, I
able to
think that's
survive.
done. No.
So what do we end at? 842k there.
842, yeah.
Dang.
Good game, good game.
842-819. Just pop that in the chat there. Yeah, good game from Darth Bunny. A very nice showing. And I think our next streamer looks like they just went offline right when I was about to pull them up, so we'll pull up somebody else here. Who else do we have? I think DLB in the Discord. Tetris DLB, welcome in if you're here in our chat. We're about to get you pulled up here. It's like typing out "Let's go Block Party." Love to see it. Thank you, Darth Bunny. And Tetris DLB up next. And yeah, we're about to do a bit of rapid fire, just so that we can cover as many players as we can, and hop into our NES showcase, so that our players aren't waiting too long there. Dancing Longbar. Oh, it's Dancing Longbar in our chat. Okay.
Oh, Shen, I think you've got Mr. FAQ and Euro Kriska's scores swapped.
Oh, too. I want to give you one moment. We will correct the record. Let's get our next player pulled up here. So Dancing Longbar, about to be on the screen here. And yeah, let's correct the record on these scores. So where are we? So Mr. FAQ, oh yeah, should be on top here. There we go. And let's get Darth Bunny in there.
Nice getting those pieces over to the right there.
So they mentioned they're going to be doing level 9 starts and level 20 starts. And then yes, on deck we're going to have Toll Stoge playing some Game Boy Tetris. Level 9 starts, only a short stream, super late here, so they might not even be around. Is Toll Stoge still around?
Yeah.
If so,
oh yeah, Tolstoy, yeah.
Tolstoy, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Eurocris had a NW, whatever that means.
NW. Not sure.
And yeah, we can get Eurocris's top score of the night if. Oh, new high score.
A
Okay.
new high score.
Oh, bottom of the board is cut off. All right, let's get that fixed up here. Welcome in, Barrett, by the way. I think the scene's a little off here, too. There we go. Yeah, we have a lot of Game Boy players making it out tonight. So thank you everyone for stopping by and watching and sharing your scores and streaming into the category. I'm glad I had Alex here to also help me out with learning a little bit more about this variant of the game, which also was my first version I played personally. Before, I think I still have a little bit of a vague memory of when I had that moment click on how to actually get a Tetris, if that makes sense. Like the first time, I feel like I just stumbled upon it, right? Because this is like when we were less connected and whatnot with the internet, etc. But, yeah. Do you have any like early Tetris memories on the Game Boy that you can like recall?
Maybe. I mean, this is definitely the version that I kind of grew up with. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
got a Game Boy when I was like, 3 or 4 years old. And I definitely remember like uh, looking up to the scores of my dad or some like family friends and things like that,
Right.
and seeing them get the rocket screen for the first time, where you get 100K and the Brian space shuttle launches off and stuff, and that was my inspiration, I guess. I don't really remember how long it took me to kind of get up and running on it exactly, but I definitely can think about looking up to people's scores, and playing B type a lot, and
Right.
working up to learning Tetris.
Yeah, I think a lot of it did click for me there. Also, the console version. Before I
Hmm.
got like really back into it, like uh, in 2020 or whatever it was, 2019. But um, yeah, and then of course for me personally, I think a lot of my big Tetris memories come from Tetris DS. That was like a huge one for me.
Right.
But
Hmm.
all right, so let's get these scores updated here. Looks like Kriska had a new score. What was MJ's score? Somebody mentioned that MJ had a score. We definitely want to highlight some of these crazy players before we hop into NES land here, or Nintendo Entertainment System land. But yeah, anyone playing, feel free to drop your high scores in the chat here on Classic Tetris. Or I see Euro Kriska dropped it on the YouTube chat as well. Welcome in. And good game. 904 is pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations on the score. It's cool to. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so Barrett is asking what platform are they playing on. We're featuring the Nintendo Switch Online version, but a lot of players are actually playing with the legitimate Game Boy. I saw your Kriska and Darth Bunny had some really cool Game Boy setups. So we have people playing on the OG hardware as well, which is awesome. But yeah, go ahead, Alex.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say it's cool to see Game Boy Tetris also sort of having its renaissance, as it were, the same way that NES Tetris has been lately. Definitely getting 900K scores would have been pretty unheard of, like a decade ago, right? Like not too many people had scores up that high. You just had the one video from Spectre, or like I also know, was it Error from Hard Drop, also like
Mm-hmm.
in the last, you know, era also was able to get a max out. There's like a few people that had it, but it's just nice to see more people able to put those scores up.
Yeah, I think I saw in the chat earlier. There's only like 18 to 20 verified max out, so still a very low number when you
Hmm.
think about it.
Low
Like,
number. Hmm.
uh, back when like the console Nintendo version used to be very low too, but it had a huge renaissance and is like
Right.
we're on the classic Tetris channel, so I assume a lot of people are familiar with that. But also we're live currently on Tetris Official, so Instagram and X. So feel free to ask any questions you may have about the history of Tetris, and we'll see if we can keep an eye on those chats too. But yeah, and maybe part of it due to being available on Nintendo Switch Online, perhaps. So more people having access to the game, and just I don't know. Over time, people tend to continue to get better and better, no matter how old the game is, right? So
Hmm. It's also a good era for like a lot of video. Like you got YouTube and Twitch and everything. So when
yeah,
somebody
true.
does put up a high score, we're able to catch it now, which is great.
Okay, so DLB is playing. Let's see if get our next player in here. And yeah, so in about 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to hop into our NES showcase. I don't want to keep our players waiting too long. And maybe after, maybe we can try to highlight some of our high scores, or during the stream. Feel free to share your Game Boy high scores, even during the NES showcase, and we can definitely give you your shout out. And perhaps we'll put together some kind of montage, because it's going to be hard to cover all these all of these games in such a short period of time here. But yeah, definitely let us know your high scores in the session, and perhaps we can put together some kind of a compilation video with all your gameplay. I definitely want to pull up how's it pronounced again?
I
Tolstoy?
think Tolstoy.
Tolstoy. Okay. I think it looks like they're playing on the OG hardware as well, so let's see if we can feature that. That'd be pretty cool. Looks like they're on the red Game Boy.
Mm.
All right, so we're gonna hop over to Tolstoy here, who's playing on the old school Game Boy. They got the I assume a webcam just looking directly at their Game Boy. Super cool. Oh, and they're on level 20 here. What is that score? I need to zoom in here on my side. Looks like a 540K so far.
Oh, it's looking dangerous though. Oh, can we do the dig? It looks possible. Good pieces. Yep.
Is it all on Switch or OG hardware? Yeah, I think it depends on the player, but looks like some are using OG hardware and some of others are playing on the Nintendo Switch Online version, which myself and Alex here were playing on earlier as well, playing that Versus, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this is a real Game Boy. And yeah, in 5 minutes, we're going to start our NES showcase. So I'll see if I can highlight some other players. Be sure to drop your high score here in the chat if you want to keep playing your Game Boy. and at the end of the stream, perhaps we can show the leaderboard for our top 5 scores before we sign off for the night as well. But we have some awesome players waiting to play some NES Tetris, so I do not want to keep them waiting any longer. They've been quite patient already. Let's see if we can get Mr. FAQ here on the screen for a moment as well, who's been helping us out and sharing some scores here in the chat.
Very cool. Still playing. Good survival. Got the level 600K score there.
Okay, and I believe Mr. FAQ is playing. It was either the Game Boy player or Super Game Boy, whatever it is, like the actual.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think the quality is a little different here, but
Mm-hmm.
depending on what your setup is, it might be going through plenty of chords, especially if you're using the OG hardware. But we'll pull that up in here in a moment. And Dancing Longbar, be sure to also drop your high score in the chat, because this game is still going here. I feel like a Game Boy Tetris game can last a while, especially if you're clearing singles and just trying to survive, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you've got the speed for it to get the pieces over, then... And also the line clear animation is pretty long. And you're probably clearing a lot of singles to, like, survive at some point in the game. Yeah, they can go on for a bit.
All right, here's Mr. FAQ on level 9 here, starting out. Thank you for making it out, playing some games. Mr. FAQ is also one of our fastest sprinters on Tetris Effect Connected, by the way. So they,
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty sure Mr. FAQ plays like multiple Tetris games and can throw down in just about every one of them. So always like to see that from our players that are kind of crossover players and just legitimately like any form of Tetris or any kind of Tetramino stacking that exists.
Always fun. You know, there's questions sometimes about, you know, who is the player that can play the most versions and things,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, when you put it that way, it's really hard to measure who the best player is.
Mm-hmm.
Just from my personal experience trying to play this player on multiple games, Green Tea always comes to mind. But
Yep, that's a good call out.
there definitely are some others, Hebo Mai. Even
Mhm,
like
mhm.
players like yourself that just know so much about every game, you can throw down on every game to some extent, right?
Mhm.
And Sodium comes to mind. There's plenty of great players, and a lot of the new age like competitive CTWC players as well can just play on the modern variants quite effectively. Even Blue Scooty.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes, you know, there's players where, you know, maybe you think of them as an NES Tetris player, or you think of them as this player, that player, and then, like, secretly they're in some, you know, Discord, especially like the teens, they'll be in like some TGM Discord, you know, learning the game together, and like suddenly it's like, oh yeah, like, you know, I have a Shiraz S13. Oh yeah, I have, you know, Tetris Grandmaster in
Right.
in one, and I'm working on two. It's like, where did you come from? How did this happen? Oh yeah, I've got to max out on this. Oh really? What?
So Critical Effect we're about to bring up on the screen. Thanks for playing tonight. I'll try to at least get everybody their moment of fame, even if it's not as long as the other players. But yeah, Critical Effect will be up next here. Looks like they are intentionally starting on that 5 high, which seems pretty fun. I guess,
Oh yeah, 9-5. Yeah.
yeah. So is that B type, or can you actually
Hmm.
start A type up higher as well, like we were doing in 1v1?
This is B type.
Okay. And then I see Smash Whammy in the chat. If you're still streaming, we'll show your screen here for a little bit on our Tetris Block Party. So I guess I have a feeling the B type hasn't been fully maxed out. If you know what I mean. I assume you can start on those
Oh,
heart
like
levels on like B type 5 high, right?
yeah, I don't know if you can. I'm trying to think mathematically. If you can live, nine heart five and clear it. I'm not 100% sure if that's doable with the shorter playfield. It might still be. Because I mean, if people can do 19.5 in NES with DAS. Okay, B type was beaten on level 20 speed with height 5.
Oh
Is
wow,
something that Dancing Longbar says in the chat.
very cool.
That's pretty cool.
That seems crazy.
Yeah, it seems really difficult with like how little time you have between pieces entering. But I guess, mathematically it still works out.
All right, and our final player of the night, at least before our NES showcase, is Smash Whammy. And by the way, please drop your high scores in the chat, and we'll get this top score leaderboard updated. It's because we have to switch around games. It's hard to sometimes pick up what those final scores end up being.
Oh,
And
cool. Got some known Xbox.
oh, I didn't realize that was even a thing. So I assume just like on the console version of
Mm-hmm.
Tetris, you can press select, right, to turn that off.
Yep. Extra challenge. No extra points though. That's a
Ooh.
funny thing. Some of the early games, some of the early computer games had a ability to turn off the next box for extra points per piece. But that feature makes it into stuff like Game Boy Tetris and NES Tetris, but without any like benefit. It's just more of like a challenge for yourself.
Please try again, Smash Whammy.
Mm-hmm. Solid effort. No next is tricky, tricky. Okay. Clean stacking. We're gambling for it. Will we get it? Okay. Nice, nice. Not a full Tetris, but still some point value there.
Kill it, Smash, says TiVo. Um, all right. And yes, keep with it. Smash Whammy. You are going to smash the score out of the park. I can believe it. But we are going to hop into our NES player showcase. If we have some time here on at the end of the stream, maybe I'll try to highlight some of our high scores and whatnot. But yes, feel free to keep continue playing the Game Boy version for the party night, and yeah, we'll see if we can put together some kind of compilation or something of everyone that participated tonight. Be sure to share your stream VODs with us on the Discord at discord.gg/enhance, and yeah, we'll definitely put together a leaderboard for the night and see if I want to see what everyone was cooking. I'll probably scour the VODs a little bit and see how strong everyone is, because I am not as familiar with the Game Boy scene as I am with just about every other version of Tetris. So it's really cool to see everyone here pushing the limits of the game. Eurocris had a max out. That is awesome. Shout out
Very
to
cool, yeah.
Eurocris. Yeah, I'll
Congratulations.
definitely have to. Maybe we can. Anyone that got a max out or whatnot, maybe we can share on our socials.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So okay. All right, so we are about to hop into a NES showcase. Thank you, everyone that was playing the Game Boy. Yeah, so next week we're going to be hopping in Tetris Grandmaster, the following some team play and Tetris Mobile / Tetris.com. In addition to tournaments, our first tournament starting tomorrow for Classic Score Attack. There will be 2 time slots, so definitely head to start.gg/Tetris. I repeat, start.gg/Tetris. Let me drop that link here in our Classic Tetris Twitch chat. I believe there's a register command. And yeah, we're looking for more Classic Score Attack players to see if you can take on the best. Players that get to the top 4 might be eligible for cash prizes. So hoping to see some strong players. And none other than Chris Tang, Boom, Tetris for You, will be stopping by tomorrow to commentate some Classic with me. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And next week, Puyo Puyo Tetris, and the following Tetris Effect Connected Zone Battle. So yes, we're going to hop into this. Let's take a look at our Classic bracket for the night. Tristop versus Sodium Overdose is going to be our first match, and then Dangler versus Miles for game number 2, and the winners will go head-to-head. And this bracket it could have been a bracket in the top 4 of CTWC. I think they're all in their separate sections of that top 16 or top 8. Tristop actually making it to the top 4 as well. The Dangler, I think Dangler, what did Dangler make it to? Dangler might be top 4. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It's top 4 or top 8. But either way, this is an absolutely stacked bracket, so this is going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to get our players set up here. So any predictions, Alex? I know you were at CTWC 2024, and I think the energy in that room was... I've been to a fair amount of CTWCs, not quite as many as you, but the energy in the room was awesome, and it's great to see where the community is and the skill level of the community, etc. Just pretty much anything CTWC, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely just unbelievable. Like, just every match was crazy. Every player was just playing to their utmost. I don't have any predictions just because I think when I see all the player names here, like everyone I think has like an equally good chance. They're
Right.
all super strong, you know. Tristop had a crazy run. You know, obviously Dengler with like the first ever, you know, perfect max out, and you know, Sodium and Miles also just achievements all over the place. Just always, yeah, top level play from everybody that I'm seeing here. So
Yeah, and a lot of these players I've known for years now, at least like 5 years from some of these players who have been like hanging out. You know, as a big boom for Tetris was Tetris 99. Got a lot of these players, or at least I remember seeing some of these players in my Tetris 99 streams back then. And
yeah,
usually if you
I know
one
for a fact
Tetris
that
game-
Miles said so.
Yeah,
What's that?
Miles. I think I'm not sure about Tristop or Sodium. Definitely plays other Tetris games as well, but yeah, I think a lot of these new players just they can cross over into other Tetris games, and they likely have found classic Tetris through some other awesome Tetris games, right? So pretty much anyone that's like a top Tetris player most likely can throw down in other Tetris games too. All right, looks like Tristop is practicing. We're going to get these players. They are warming up and get them on the screen here in just a moment. But Tristop also crashed the game recently. I think Tristop and Miles is the most recent game crasher.
Yeah, Miles.
Yep. Okay, so it looks like Tristop is getting ready here. Let's pull up Sodium Overdose, who is a very strong player when it comes to the modern variants, just like Puyo Puyo Tetris and Zone Battle as well. So we were mentioning really strong crossover players, such as like a Green Tea, but Sodium once had the nickname, I don't know if they ever get called this anymore, but Baby Green Tea, right? So they can throw down in other Tetris games too. So, okay, we're going to get these players pulled up. If you are a player, by the way, make sure I have your right Twitch stream pulled up. So we're going to find Sodium Overdose here. Oh, I think the There also is qualifying for a NES Tetris tournament tonight, right, for the Lone Star event. So good luck to anyone qualifying in that. Down in the heart of Texas. Here, let me just tag Sodium. Yeah, I just need to get Sodium set up here, and then we'll hop into it here. And these will be first of two, just for the sake of time. First of three with very talented players can last quite a while. So, yeah, I think we'll have plenty of awesome games still with that first of two. And maybe that pressure might bring out some even better games from these players. Who knows?
I was trying on the side to see if I could find people's, if they had any TGM scores and things too, in the topic of, cross-platform play and stuff. But I think it's tricky to find it in CTM. Sometimes they haven't mentioned it directly in there, but I feel like I've seen, Sodium chat in the TGM chat, but I don't know if he's posted his score, so it was a little bit tricky. So we'll need these players to fess up at some point if they've got some cross gaming experience that they want to shout out.
All right, welcome in Tristop and Sodium. I hope they're here. Oh yeah, looks like Sodium is setting up the seed as well. So players, make sure you have the same seed. We are going to try to have players here on the same piece set. Total fairness, you can't blame RNG in this one. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how these players throw down here tonight. Alex, have you ever given rolling a try? I feel like we had to have talked about this. I feel like I talked about it with everybody in the community at some point. But have you tried rolling on Tetris?
Yeah, a little bit. I definitely would need to sit down with it more and consistently practice it. Because it's one of those things where it's like, it's faster than my normal hyper tap, but the consistency is not there. And I would need to it's definitely one of those things that you have to really just sit down with and do, and dedicate that to being the play style that you're going to be using for a while, and not being able to get the same sort of scores you're used to. You just have to treat it as this whole new thing. Mm-hmm. So definitely the players that are able to roll like this are, they've really put in the time and dedication and just been like, okay, yep, this is going to be, maybe I've been a DAS player before, maybe I've been a hyper tapper before, but I'm just going to sit down and learn this new thing and just do it until it clicks.
And Tristop showing off that rolling technique. So some of our viewers may not even know what rolling is. So as you can see, Tristop has a pretty good camera that shows it off right now. They're kind of rolling their fingers, almost like you're playing a piano or something like that, against the bottom of the controller, and your thumb also on the D-pad. So you get really quick inputs instead of having to strain your arm or shoulder, whatever it may be, for hyper tapping, where you just are trying to continually press the same button over and over, right? So a lot of players love it. I think once you kind of get the hang of it, it's probably a breath of fresh air to finally be able to play Tetris in a way you can't really play it on any other version, right? So, yeah, it's super cool. I've tried to practice it, but you really have to dedicate the time, and especially if you are already wired to play a certain way, it can be kind of intimidating, but I'm sure once you put in the time, it feels great, and these players have put in the time and can crush it. Mm-hmm. So it looks like Tristop is ready. I believe Sodium also has the same seed and is ready. So we can do a countdown in the chat. Let me see. I haven't had to do a countdown in Classic Tetris chat in a long time. What even is the command? Oh, wait. Oh, also I'm on NES Experience, so 1 second. Sodium's got it. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right.
Or are we stream delayed? Maybe we're starting.
Maybe a little delay.
Oh, it's going. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, Tetris. Boom. All right. Both players have started on level 18. This is a first to two. So I feel like typically at the highest level, you're going to see first to 3 or best of 5 matches, right? So less room for error here. Tristop and Sodium have to bring their A game from the get-go. Ooh. So Sodium set up for some tucks here. Actually, a pretty conservative stack from Sodium so far, having that like 2 wide into a 3 wide, right? Kind of pretty much any piece will work. So set up very nicely for to minimize piece dependencies or minimize early top outs here on 18. We still see early top outs from the best player on 18. I'd say less than we used to, but especially when players are trying to muster out as much score as possible and really get that edge going into 29. Even like that 30k lead coming out of 18 could be pivotal, right?
Right. Yeah, but I still feel like they're not trying to like give up score though. They're still trying to like avoid as many non-Tetris as possible. You know, if they can just burn one line and then still get a Tetris, then they're trying to go for that. I can see. But yeah, definitely leaving a little bit of a funnel to not just be stacked up into the ceiling and be able to come back down if they need to.
Mm-hmm. Tristop has this 4 wide well here, able to burn down pretty quickly. Nice adjustment on the tee for that upcoming Z piece.
Yeah, good read to be able to adjust for the correct, whichever of S or Z is coming up. Look for it and then rotate accordingly.
So even if you are intimidated by what's called rolling, like these players are doing to quickly move their pieces left and right, yeah, you can. If you are just starting out trying to learn this version of Tetris, you can definitely use that built-in speed. I think using that can also help you just understand fundamentals and stuff like that. And there's something fun to it. I've always liked the built-in speed just because of the rhythm of it, right? There's some kind of a flow that you get the hang of. I guess you could say that about any play style, but you yourself, Alex, you play a lot of DAS, right?
Yeah, I do, and I think it's a good achievement in its own right. Going for the DAS max out is pretty challenging, and there's still competitions for it as well. There's going to be there's the DAS World Cup in Germany, and then there's going to be the Jonas Cup coming up this September in Portland. But yeah. Definitely just like a good place to start, regardless. I don't think too many people start with rolling as their first playstyle, although I think, some of the new players that just want to come out the gate and be like, okay, I'm just going to learn it right out the bat. There have been some like that. I played against AVMJ in the bronze bracket at CTWC, and he basically started as a roller, was already rolling.
Yeah.
But it's totally fine to learn DAS or something first, DAS or tap, whatever's comfortable, and then when you feel like you're ready to, your stacking is where you want it to be, and you want to learn a new play style, you can pick up rolling as well.
Yeah, I think it is interesting that people learn rolling before any other control method for Tetris, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, it depends on what your goal is in the game, right? If you really want to compete with these top players, maybe it would be kind of cool, especially to get your muscle memory really ingrained with the rolling playstyle early on. But of course, if you're just chilling, trying to hang out and learn the game, just have fun with the game. Any playstyle, whatever is the most fun to you, right? Whether it's DAS, hyper tapping, or rolling. And Sodium up pretty high here, but looking like they get a very nice sequence of pieces and right into that Tetris, putting him at 444k, just past the 100 line mark, and Tristop sitting at 475k. Okay, Tristop not taking that T piece double burn, really trying to squeeze out as many Tetrises as possible. The most efficient play that they can. I think Tristop is usually pretty good when it comes to making the right piece adjustments to really maximize that 18 efficiency. I feel like we're getting to the point where nearly every player can do that, right, Alex? And then it comes down to mechanics. But even, yeah, like you still have to be super consistent when it comes to making those adjustments and really get as much as a lead as possible if players are consistently getting to that 29 speed, right?
Right. Yeah, and definitely I think like adjustments have come into even more into vogue lately, just because the playstyle is that much faster. Like if you're playing like DAS, sometimes making an adjustment is like a decision of like, okay, will I be able to keep that momentum for the next piece still, right? But if you're tapping, or especially now a rolling player, you can like keep moving those pieces as fast as you can. Like you have a little bit more reaction time to deal with, like getting the piece kind of around where it needs to be first, and then having a little bit of time to think, and you're not like expending the momentum like you would be if you're doing a tap type adjustment on DAS.
So getting up high here. I think Tristan, whenever Tristan's going to go for this dirty Tetris, they are ready for it.
Yeah, they're
There's that
keeping
low
it.
bar.
There it is.
All right. Tetris for Tristop, but this board is a little messy, so I might give Sodium some room to get caught up score-wise and possibly make this a neck-and-neck matchup.
Really pushing for, okay, now they're digging it down. But they're digging it down with like sometimes some triples and things, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, I think definitely a PSA for players, and this is usually something, no matter what version of Tetris you play, do not be afraid to take burns that are not Tetrises, right? More often than not, players are going to only set up for Tetrises. Whereas, okay, in this situation where these players are very, very good at the game, of course, they're going to try to set for Tetrises super high up on the board, but do not be afraid to go for those singles, doubles, triples, just to keep your board clean and get back into a scoring state. Usually it pays off dividends rather than just trying to play aggressively, right?
Yeah, there's like a trade-off, right? There's a certain point at which you want to be like, oh, nice spin there. I was looking what they were going to be setting up. Yeah, there's a certain point at which like you're end up digging more than you would have if you had just not tried to like greed for the Tetris the first time. But if you can find those nice setups like Tristop is now, like you can still kind of dig while Tetrising, but there's like definitely a point where you have to like look at it and be like, okay, now I've passed that point. I need to clean this up a different way. What's the solve?
All right, Tetris 4 Tristop. Sodium is set up for a pretty high Tetris, getting some good pieces to accommodate some burns there so that they don't have to spire too out of control. And gets that Tetris, and it's looking to probably get back to this right well, given that there's only 20 lines, actually less than that, 13 lines until that level 29 speed where it kicks into high gear here. So we'll see if Sodium can get their board into a comfortable state for that. And Tristop, meanwhile, is ready for 2 Tetrises on that right well. Still going to have to... that well is getting covered up and not the best pieces, so... Very nice management so far, though. And Sodium does kick it into high gear here. Is Tetris ready with that right well? There it is. Ooh, Sodium getting a little bit high here. Ooh, hangs that S piece.
Oh, hangs. Okay, got it over. Okay, so still diggable. That was scary for a moment, but getting that 5 tap with the long bar was huge. But no.
Ooh. And that means Tristop is good, and it's going to top out for game number 1, topping on level 31 with that 1.103. GG.
GG. It spirals fast at that speed.
Sodium calling for a reroll.
Can we reroll?
If Tristop agrees, Sodium, we can reroll every game until you win, if you would like. But, okay. So we'll need to... Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, using the seed command again. I haven't actually... So I used to host more community tournaments for NES Tetris. This is a treat for me because I don't get to do this a whole lot with the showing the old school Nintendo Entertainment System Tetris between some talented players. So looks like players are setting up that new seed so that it's totally fair for competition, having that same piece set. And when they are ready, I am ready. And we can input that countdown. Oh, both players are ready. You can see on the board. So, all right. All right, countdown has been initiated. Let's see if I can time it with the stream delay here. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh, I nailed it.
Nice, you got Sodium. Perfect timing. Oh, interesting. Unfortunate hang on that J early on for
Oh, were they looking for
Sodium.
that tuck? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I was looking at Trius sub screen for a second. I'm like, okay, now let me look at her Sodium. So like, okay, I see where that J is like floating over where it's supposed to be. Dang, unfortunate. That can happen. I feel like it can be tricky to control that with rolling sometimes too, right? Like you have to like trying to do like individual taps sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I guess rolling, like, easier said than done for sure. You still have
Hmm.
to be mechanically able to, like, things like tucks especially seem kind of tricky when it comes to rolling.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, do any players even press down? There's like some things that,
Oh
of
no, I
course, you
don't
can
think
get,
so.
yeah, you can move quicker left and right, but there are, because of how your controller is set up, right? It might be a little trickier to do some of those like more nuanced control maneuvers
Hmm.
with like spins and stuff like that.
Right. I think some players like might like push down like a piece or something, like the Sidnev 1 point, but I don't think that usually people are pushing down every piece because like then you're it's even more repositioning of your thumb. And when I mean, maybe some people have got it kind of figured out, but I think that's even more that you need to deal with in terms of getting the right thumb pressure for rolling.
All right, so we are actually going live on TikTok for our NES Tetris Showcase. We'll see who we cross here, see who stumbles across this these games, but it should be interesting. So welcome in any TikTok viewers. Okay. So Tristop up 1-0 here. One more game will do it, and Tristop will be up against the winner of Dangler and Miles, waiting on the other side of our bracket. And if you're just tuning in and wondering why this is happening, we are celebrating the Tetris 40th anniversary, whether you're watching from Tetris official channels here on Classic Tetris or the Enhanced TikTok or X. Yeah, we're kind of going through the evolution of Tetris games throughout the next 3 weekends. So starting off with Game Boy and Classic Tetris, and having a combinating Classic Score Attack tournament on Tetris Effect Connected tomorrow, which registration is still open for. So if you're looking to participate in that, head to start.gg/Tetris. And yeah, so we're gonna move throughout the years in the next few weekends. So with Tetris Grandmaster and Puyo Puyo Tetris next week, and then Zone Battle, and yeah, some of the Tetris Mobile or Tetris.com showcase as well. So I'm going to cover a lot of games throughout the next few weekends, and yeah, looking forward to it. So Tristop looking pretty efficient here, 419k at 83 lines. I used to at least go by the pace that like 100k every 25 lines is like max out pace, right, Alex? I don't know if you ever used anything like that, but yeah, I think it's usually expected. Like, look how high Tristop is stacking without an issue here. That players are going to really muster out as much score as possible from these level 18 speeds.
Sodium too. I was just like going for these like just crazy setups, trying to get a Vits at some point, and missed it the first time, and then it ended up getting set up again, and then was able to actually land it. Just any sort of moves that they're trying to go for efficiency, to try to pump out the stack as high as possible or as clean as possible. Like any adjustment or possibility that they can go for, they're aiming for it.
All right, Tetris 4 Tristop. Really strong pace for Tristop. So anyway, having to take some burns there. Waiting to take that burn. I guess I wanted to keep that Tetris well open for a little bit longer rather than fix it right away. And it's looking clean. But yeah, I think Tristop is feeling pretty good. Just about 100k lead. Maybe Tetris short of that when they are on the same line count here. So But who knows what's going to happen as things ramp up, right, into the higher speeds.
Yeah, can change a lot on 19 and on 29. But yeah, definitely that some of those early missed drops can really add up these days. If when you have only the same amount of long bars in a game as your opponent does, and if you're not able to hit Tetrises, then it can start to stack up. And then that kind of leads you to this situation where you're like pushing even harder on every subsequent line. You're waiting to get Tetrises and trying to avoid as much burning as possible. And sometimes if that doesn't work out, you can just keep burning, and the lead going away.
Stop up a little bit high here, but taking some nice burns. Getting that long bar. Oh, nice. Fills in that dependency there rather than using... could have easily set up another long bar dependency, but Tristop discipline stacking, and boom, Tetris for Tristop. Sodium drops a Tetris of their own, and is, once again, Tetris ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're doing a good job of keeping it. And I also like Tristop's a little bit ahead in terms of the line count too, so that'll account for some of that.
Yeah.
But even regardless, I just think that Sodium's doing a good job of hitting every Tetris opportunity that's coming up to keep it close or to catch up if Tristop needs to do any digging. Yeah, it's getting closer and closer.
This is a heavyweight matchup in my eyes. Like these players definitely could have met in that top 4 at CTWC. If things went their way, right? I think Sodium got knocked out by Alex T in the top 8. No easy match for them, but and Tristop managed to beat Blue Scooty to play against Alex T, right, in that top 4. But all right, here we go. So set up for some Tetrises.
Oh, it's definitely drowning now. Oh no. Oh, still getting it over. Okay, this is gonna be some spicy tucking action going there. There we go. That was looking good. Still doable, yep. Oh, and the dirty Tetris right afterwards, perfect. Yeah, even despite that crazy looking misdrop, was able to, not lose too much speed, not lose too much momentum in terms of the scoring action.
Yeah, momentum is pretty important, especially keeping that momentum with that dirty Tetris, right? If you if you're stuck in a burn sequence or play too safe, sometimes you can kind of like really hinder your pace and whatnot. So players knowing when to go for burns, when to play efficient, and they certainly have the mechanics to play super high and try to greed a little bit, right? I feel like you have to, especially when you're down like this against Tristop. So Sodium doing a nice job. And Tristop is almost at that level 29 currently with a 1.17 million score. To translate for anyone that doesn't watch a whole lot of NES Tetris, that B it turns into hexadecimal at a certain point, right? So this is C stands for 1.2 million.
Okay, dangerous entry. Oh no, I'm gonna have to hit a huge 5-tap or get some L's over. Oh no.
No.
Dang. No, Sodium.
I think Sodium might want to reroll after this match, but yeah. Yeah, Tristop can play this out. GG. Thank you for playing Sodium. And we'll see if Miles or Dangler will be shaking in their boots by watching Tristop play right here, right now.
Yep.
Might be able to hit that rollover score.
Yeah, definitely well played by Sodium.
Definitely. Looking pretty good. Super clean play from Tristop here. It's just crazy that I've pretty much gotten used to these high speeds in a way, right? This used to be absolutely. It is absolutely insane. Let me just make that clear. But I'm a little bit desensitized to it. I've watched a lot of classic Tetris, but all right. So Tristop is getting up high here. Well, they go for that dirty. They don't go for that dirty Tetris. Probably the right move. And looking to bring it down here.
Yeah, these days, 29 play starts to look like if you took some old 19 play and just put it on the YouTube, 2x speed setting,
Right,
right?
right, right.
How clean they're able to play it is uh, just mind-boggling.
I think it's arguable that they might be even cleaner than like these
Yeah,
sped up 19 videos too, right? Just it goes
right,
to
right.
show like players have really studied the game and figured out how to play even more efficiently. And also, I think one more Tetris will do it. There's the rollover for Tristop, and yeah, absolutely crushing it here. So what is that? A 1.625, right?
hmm
GG. All right, so Tristop takes it 2-0 in our first matchup here. So thank you, Sodium, for making it out. Tristop will move on to the super duper Tetris Block Party Grand Finals. All right. So Dangler versus Miles coming up next. So Miles I'm pretty familiar with they've been in the scene for quite a while, like I mentioned, during like even the Tetris 99 days and stuff like that. But Dangler, I think, kind of stormed onto the scene over, I want to say, the last year or so, and has, I believe they had the first perfect game of
Yeah,
Tetris on the console, right? Is that right, Alex?
yeah. First perfect max out. Yeah, a lot of studying of adjustments and things to really push for never burning, just always going for every Tetris possible. Yeah, it's a pretty incredible video if you ever get a chance to watch it later.
Yeah, definitely check it out. And you can definitely follow all these players, whether they're streaming right now or, yeah, I believe they all have their socials and continue to practice this game, push it to its limits. We think we're at the limit now, but it's only going to get crazier as we see year by year. So definitely support these players as it is. In a way, I think it's becoming less of a niche, but it's becoming more mainstream. But for loving this niche hobby, and it's really the passion and energy really expands the community, right? So as we see year by year at CTWC. So yeah, let's refresh this bracket. Okay, so Tristop will be moving on to play the winner of Dangler and Miles. And while we get that set up, we're just going to take a 1 or 2 minute break real quick. Be sure to enter the giveaway by typing Block Party in the chat here on twitch.tv/classic Tetris. And we'll be giving away some copies of Tetris Effect Connected. So if you haven't already, enter Block Party in the chat to enter the giveaway. And we will be right back.
Hey, is that going out?
Yeah, hi Tristop. I sorry, we were just hanging out watching Tristop for a moment. But hello, Tristop. Yes, we'll be right back. All right, we are back with Tetris Block Party. About to hop right back into some good old Nintendo Entertainment System Tetris. Released in what year? I should know this. 1989. Is that right, Alex? So I'm going to hop right into it. I believe we have Dingler here on the left and Miles on the right, ready to throw down. And like I said, this could have been a top 4 match at CTWC this year if things played out in an alternate timeline. So yeah, tonight we are going through that alternate timeline here for the Tetris Block Party, and I'm joined by Alex Kerr, aka Kataru, who, no matter what Tetris game you come from, may be familiar with, whether it's TGM. I think I met you actually playing Tetris Friends back in the day, and then
oh yeah,
or it might have been a Facebook Tetris. It's some Tetris game, and then,
right, yeah, one of that era of things, right?
Yeah. Of course, a lot of players know you even for your classic Tetris abilities, or your console Tetris. I almost need to rethink wording of classic Tetris, just because we have Game Boy and Nintendo console
right.
Tetris.
NES, yeah. There's so many different flavors of classic.
So yeah, here's a look at our bracket tonight. We have Dangler versus Miles coming up here, and when these players are ready, we are going to hop into it. Looks like Miles, they're just getting that seed ready, so we have a competitive format here where players use the same piece set. All right, so just waiting to know when the players are ready and the seed is set. I guess we can probably see that in the game here, but all right, so we're about to hop into it. Miles the Great, aka just Miles now on Twitch, actually, so just Miles, and then Dingler. Looks like Miles is ready, and once Dingler is ready, we can hop into it. I'll do a countdown in the chat. Oh, also, I should probably reset the score here. It is not 2-0. All right, starting fresh. 0-0. Dingler versus Miles. We need 2 already. We're going to hop into it. All right, looks like both players are ready, so we'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Tetris Block Party. Let's go. Dangler versus Miles. Who is going to come out on top here tonight, Alex? I am not so sure.
Yeah, I think it's anybody's game.
Oh, looks like I don't know if Miles has started yet.
Stream delay, false start. Yeah,
we'll something going on here. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Correct piece is coming out though, so at least the first 3 should be the right seed.
That's something that comes with players playing on the OG hardware, right? There might be, especially when we're online and not local, like we were in Pasadena in June. Might be some delay and stuff like that. But all right, so players off to a clean start here. I guess Dingler with a 2-line burn is all, I think. Yeah, 2 lines burned.
And he pulled one hand there a little bit while adjusting something off camera.
This is just another day, another walk in the park for these players. Another day at work, whatever saying you want to go with. And yeah, I mean, when you're super comfortable, it's just going to be, you're not going to think about it. You're going to be autopiloting, right? Players ask, like, I think one of the biggest questions like new players ask when they're watching a high-level Tetris being live streamed, or like, how are the players moving this fast? They put in a lot of practice and the pattern recognition to the point where they probably don't have to think about it too much, right? It's almost to the point where, like,
it's kind of like you've in a little bit. It's like, it's more like you've solved enough of the puzzle that like you can think more about like the meta puzzle, right? Like you're able to do those adjustments. You're able to look for other things. So you're thinking about it, but yeah, definitely also, yeah, you don't want to overthink it. You want to be able to make that movement, you make that decision and lock it in before, it's too late. Um, but definitely people are able to like recognize some of those things they're familiar with and like look for, okay, what's the best thing in this situation, and like weighing the options more so, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Um, and that's a very fun part when you can actually get to that point of this game. It is very fulfilling, right? So that's probably keeps these players engaged in these tournaments and in the community just by there's always something to work on, always a way to improve your game, whether it's the meta game within or the meta puzzle as you mentioned, or even just owning your mechanics, making sure you hit every 5 tap when they're trying to roll to the far left here. There's always something you can practice and get better at in this game, which is part of the draw, really.
Yep. There's no real ceiling, at least not one we're going to be able to reach anytime soon.
All right, so Tetris for Dangler. As I mentioned earlier, I think this is actually the first game I've ever casted featuring Dangler. They kind of stormed on the scene and took over. Maybe somebody can help me out in the chat. I'm not sure on the timeline of Dangler takeover, but yeah, like back when I commentated a lot more community events on this version of the game of Tetris, I don't think Dangler was anywhere to be seen, but yet they are a contender. And if you put in the time and really want to be good at this game and enjoy the game, like you can still compete at the highest level, right? If you're passionate about it. So even though the skill ceiling is getting higher and higher, if you're motivated, you can certainly learn to play this game.
Absolutely. Got a lot of good resources and things too. A lot of people,
Yeah.
willing to chat it out and figure out new good ways to do things, stacking theory and everything. So
Yeah, I think you mentioned earlier, almost like a streaming era kind of thing, but a lot of players stream their game and their practice, and I think that definitely help players get exponentially better at this game, right? Just
yeah,
constantly learning from each other, making friends, and interacting with your friends, maybe forming rivalries, whatever it may be. Definitely caused a boom for this game.
yeah, it's a good thing. I think for a lot of arcade type games too, like TGM, it's the same sort of thing where having Twitch and YouTube and Discord and all of that really allows you to get that arcade atmosphere but at home, right? You can pop into different people's streams and watch or like chat or so on, share information.
Yeah, for a lot of players in the Tetris community, it's that third place where we're hanging out, right? So,
Yes, it's our virtual third place,
yes,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so pretty killer scores so far, and we're already approaching that level 19 speed on Dangler's side. Miles lagging behind a little bit, mostly because of the stream delay is all. But yeah, 570k for Dangler, looking like they'll hit above 600k at this rate unless things go drastically bad. But yeah, so far a great game for these players.
Yeah, a lot of wild adjustments and even like sometimes going one direction and then like swapping over to the other one entirely on Dangler's screen. Pretty crazy to see. All on the surface of better scoring efficiency.
Yeah, Dangler, of course, being the first player to have a perfect max out, getting only Tetris line clears to clear 1,000,000 points, which is awesome. And I guess that's also takes a bit of time and patience, but you still certainly need the skill to do it once you get the right pieces, right? So I definitely encourage, like you mentioned earlier, to find Dangler's perfect max out video. It's pretty satisfying to see like some of the stacking methods to maintain that perfect play, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, just like cross mapping it back over there. Jeez.
All right, so 770k for Dangler, 640k for Miles, and actually, the line differential isn't too much at this point, so we actually have a pretty big, I'd call it a big lead at this point between these two players. Even like at the point that our community is getting to, or like the skill level of the players, that 100k lead, or even like 50 to 100k is pretty significant, and you want to get as much as you can, knowing the skill of your opponent, right? Like these are definitely top 4 contenders in CTWC this year, right? So
Right.
they're going to be bringing their A game, and at any point counts.
Oh, nice bits there from Miles. Looking good. Gets the Tetris off of it. Perfect.
Yeah, the vertical eye tuck setup,
Tuck
right? Yeah.
setup. Yep.
I always have to sound it out because I forget sometimes. There we go. Tetris for Miles, and another one. So getting back into the groove here. Dangler already with a max out on level 25, which is crazy. Miles has a great pace going too, but looks like they have a little bit to work through here. Let's see if they can efficiently bring this down so that they don't have to lose
I
too
think
much
so.
pace.
They made some
That was great.
good moves there. Yep. They lined up the holes so there would be less to dig through once they got the pieces to do it, and it worked out perfectly.
Where's the Gamba, says the chat. That is a great question. Maybe we can set that up for the next game. All right, a little bit of a long bar dependency there for Dangler. Not getting the best pieces. There's that long bar. So I think actually in this situation, Dangler should be feeling uncomfortable about bringing down this left side of the board. Not the best pieces, but really well played from Dangler there. Open for business. Gets a nice double. Just waiting for that long bar. And Dangler is about to hop into level 29 with 6 lines left to go. And approaching 1.2. Meanwhile, Miles on level 27, just about level 28 here with a max out. So nearly like a 200k behind going into level 29, right? So Miles is really going to have to step it up, knowing the amount of the scoring potential that Dangler has in store typically. So and Dangler probably on their end, they could play it safe, or they can just keep playing aggressive and autopiloting like we were mentioning earlier, right? I guess it depends on the player's personality or play style. But
And how do we have this set up today in terms of
it
rule
is
set?
39 double kill screen. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the next consideration, right? Now that we're in 29, we have this new added double speed at level 39, which really changes the consideration of the game, right? There's no just lining out and marathoning and surviving that way. You really got to continue with score efficiency all the way through.
Dangler set up for a tuck there. Does actually take a burn, so no Tetrises anytime soon. Miles in trouble, especially considering like they got a score right here, right now. So a lot of pressure on Miles right now to get Tetris ready. At the same time, like if they want to actually have a chance of winning, maybe Dangler will top out or something. There we go. That is a great Tetris from Miles up super high. That is not easy to execute. There we go. So Miles back to that right well.
Got out, yeah.
And Dangler not really Tetris ready, so if Miles can get some Tetrises here, especially on these super late levels, right? The Tetrises are worth quite a bit.
Yep, scoring multiplier keeps going up, so... Oh, that's another mess, so...
Oh, Dangler tops out
Dangler
at the
at F,
1.511. If Miles can survive, there is potential here, right?
Yeah, I'm not good at my 39 stop math, but we're only at D and 8 lines left. I don't think we're in the because we'd have to go through
Miles
E and everything
Tetris
too.
against the Tetris? I think.
This
Oh
is
wait,
gonna
no,
be the last one.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So unless I get the double kill screen Tetris, that would have been insane. But yes, okay. All right. Great game 1. So Dangler takes it by just about 100k there. GG. Crazy game.
I was like trying to calculate for a second. I'm like, oh, we're at D though. Yeah, getting all the way to F. And how many lines do we have left? Oh, we're already at 320. Yeah, that was rough,
I feel like
but
Miles would need
super.
Only 2 Tetrises with the remaining 5 lines, and then a double kill screen Tetris, which would have been absolutely
and a double
crazy.
kill screen. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Dingler up 1-0, and when you players are ready, whether you need to increment the seed or whatever it may be, we'll get ready to hop into game number 2 here. While the players are taking a moment and getting ready, be sure to join our giveaway. Type Block Party in the chat to be entered to win a copy of Tetris Effect Connected. And we'll send that to you either on Discord or Twitch. So type in Block Party in chat if you're looking to play Tetris Effect Connected or give it to a friend. I know a lot of our core community members already own the game and play the game on a regular basis, but yeah, type in Block Party. No exclamation point, Matt McGrath, if you want to type it without the exclamation point. Okay, so I think Miles, let me pull my Discord here. Looks like both players are ready. We're going to type in the countdown and we'll get started. Can I do a 5? I want to do a 5. Oh, I'm on Enhance again. Let's see. There we go. All right, let's try to time it here. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh no, I'm way off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. There we go for Dingler. Here, maybe I can get a refresh on Miles here.
I'll see if that helps with the delay between.
It won't look pretty for a second as we get this refreshed.
Yep, there we go. There is some Miles block stacking.
All right.
And very similar game state, it looks like. 9 lines, same score. 13 lines now, I guess. Okay.
All right, seems like Miles still haven't. We'll see if this fixes itself, as Twitch may do sometimes, or it could even be on my end for all I know. But meanwhile, Dingler is stacking and looking pretty clean here at 116k at 23 lines. Nice setup there with the. Oh, getting a little greedy with those centers. Those center squares are always scary. There we go, Tetris for Dingler.
Very good.
CDJ in the chat. Yeah, Tetris. Nice. Agreed. We all love Tetris here. We are celebrating Tetris 40th anniversary with Tetris Block Party. Wherever you're watching from. Hope you are enjoying the stream so far. Or as Meatloaf Surprise on YouTube likes to say, Tetris Block Party. Block Party. Dingler is playing dangerously, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a. We'll see if we can get this stream cleaned up a little bit here. That happens when we have online features for a game made in 1989, depending on the setup here. Either way, we can still kind of follow what Miles is doing in the meantime. And so far, what are they at? 170k at 37 lines. So actually quite a bit behind on lines compared to Dingler here. So gonna have to do the math in our heads, but I think similar pace if I were to guess here.
Yeah, stream is fighting with you. It seems like Twitch wants it to be delayed, even though you're trying to refresh it to be
Right.
up to date.
Here, let me tinker with it a little bit. Maybe I can lower the quality or something. Although it just seems to be... Is it Dingler too? It seems to be mostly just Miles on my end. But, okay. Well, we'll see if it fixes itself. All right, Dangler taking some burns, opening up that right well. Boom. Tetris for Dangler. Blocks on blocks, says TiVo. Yeah, I don't think we need a rematch. Hopefully Twitch or the connection fixes itself.
Right.
Usually not a whole lot we can do when it comes to internet connection, but... I wonder if we should give Miles another... Oh, looks like he might be finding his way back in here, so maybe we'll give it one more refresh. Maybe second time's the charm, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, and it even looks like their stream seems to be keeping up, but it just seems like Twitch is fighting with you right now on your computer. So it's like a hour view thing, more so.
Oh, on our end?
Because when we refresh it, like their line count is close to Dangler's, so I just feel like Twitch is fighting with us for whatever reason.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can alleviate this a little bit. Sorry for the sluggishness, everybody, as we're trying to figure out what may be happening here. But 725k for Dangler, 572k for Miles, who is lagging behind a little bit on lines. But yeah, looking like players are on a similar pace. Dangler once again with a bit of a 19 lead, or 19 pace lead at least. So Miles may want to try to maintain that efficiency, or at least keep in check, so that if Dangler tops out again on those later level 29 levels, he can get caught up a little more easily. Oh, Kataru, I don't know. Here, one second. Okay,
Hello?
I think chat maybe thought you sounded like you were in another room for a moment.
Yeah, I checked Discord settings, and it seems like it's the same mic and stuff. Can you reshare the stream with me too?
Yeah, I got you. Dingler is in trouble up high here on level 25. Get some nice burns, actually. Very nice pieces to work through that sequence. And does open up that long bar dependency. A lot of different ways you can try to burn this. Do you see the game okay on your end, Alex?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Dingler is approaching that 29 speed.
Has a max out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Miles also not too far behind in terms of the scoring pace.
So yeah, Dingler once again keeping it clean here, getting some Tetrises.
Ooh, that duck.
And it looks like Miles is set up for a double Tetris here going into level 29. And yeah, apologies for the the sluggishness. Maybe after this game we could try to take a second to figure out what's happening here. But yes, so Tetris 4 Miles into level 29.
Mm-hmm. So we have the double max has occurred.
Some awesome stacking from Dingler here, setting up for that Tetris ready on the right, takes a triple. There we go, still Tetris ready, no long bar in sight. A little bit of a mini drought here for Dingler. They've been Tetris ready for a while here. There it is, Tetris for Dingler. They are in 1.3 territory, I believe.
Yeah, that was quite a fight to keep it ready through all of that, you know, and especially in like level 29 when the game is just really trying to kill you.
Ooh.
Oh, it's looking a little dicey now.
Oh no, Dingler tops out.
Tops out at E.
All right, so a little bit of slideshow Tetris here from Miles, but hopefully if Miles gets a win here, we can clear this up. Hey, if anything, we can follow this level 29 speed a little easier, right? Right, Alex? So
we're getting the slow motion play-by-play.
Play-by-play. I need to get a John Madden paint thing going here.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, things getting a little dicey here for Miles. We'll see what moves they try to make work here, or how they can work through this situation. You cannot T-spin triple into that gap, unfortunately, so looking to take a long bar burn for a double. Oh, I didn't catch what was Dingler's score sitting at?
Oh yeah, I missed. Well, they topped out at like E something, right? Or is that right?
Yeah, just keep playing, Miles. I think it was, yeah, at least E. Dingler, do you, if you recall the score, if you could type it in the chat. E31, thank you. So, yeah, Miles will need an E32, and they have an E56. Lo and behold, after some
after some refresh.
Yes. So, okay, that is 1-1, GG, and let me see. It could be an OBS thing, so let me just like get a refresh around the board here and see if we can alleviate some of this stress that's happening on our setup here. It was going so well, Alex, but all right, 1-1. So we will have a decider between Dingler and Miles in a moment. Oop, get that updated. All right, so let's take a look at the bracket while we get this fixed up here. Yeah, 1-1 between Dingler and Miles, and the winner will go up against Tristop in our final match of the night. Thank you, everyone that has been tuning in so far. Be sure to join the giveaway. Type Block Party in the chat to have a chance to win Tetris Block Connected, and we'll do the drawing for that possibly right after this match, actually. So, and before we close out the stream. Alright, it does look like Miles' stream is a little bit better on my end. I think they turned down their bit rate. Actually, it looks a lot better. Fortunately. I'm just going to give it a refresh just in case. All right, I think we are looking a little bit better here. So let's see. Maybe Miles, if you want to play a quick 29 run or something like that, see how it looks here, and then we'll get started. Yeah, it must be on my end here. You know what's interesting? I feel like the vertical stream looks just fine. Here, I have an idea. Let's see if we can clean it up here. It was working fine, I promise, before this match. Okay. All right. All right. I think we're looking better. Dangler's side looks pretty good to me. I can see the 8 refreshing there. Is Miles isn't okay. Miles is moving around. I think this is looking better. It's looking better. Okay.
It looks smooth.
Yes.
Hopefully this stays smooth.
All right. Yes. Fingers crossed here, but I think we are good. Thanks for your patience, players and viewers. But looks like both players are ready. Let's get a 3 in the chat, and let's count down this decider. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Good luck. Have fun. Dangler versus Miles. Game number 3. And I see Nightbot doing some work in the classic YouTube chat. Follow Tetris everywhere, or follow CTWC everywhere as well. Whether you're watching from Tetris Official on our X or Instagram page, or the Enhance, I believe, X page currently, or the Classic Tetris Twitch. Thanks for watching tonight. And yeah, we have some more tournament action coming tomorrow, which will be killer, just for the top 4 Grandmasters bracket of our Classic Tetris Score Attack tournament. I don't know if you caught wind of how that format works, Alex, but we have a time slot really early in the morning, which is like prime time Japan gaming time, so we'll probably have some Japanese entrants, and then we have another time slot, which is so it's 5 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Pacific, and then our Grandmaster stream will be at 5 p.m. Pacific. So the idea is to be able to have players from hopefully around the world be able to participate in some shape or form. All right, looks like we are good and can see Miles. All is good on Tetris Block Party land. And
Yep. I think we still got the delay, but we have the smoothness,
Yes.
so we'll be able to, I think, interpret what's happening in the match at least.
Looks like it's getting. Is it getting caught up a little bit? Okay.
Sometimes it's doing some little catch-ups,
Okay.
yeah. Oh man, Dangler up high, but still always on the knife's edge, always up to the limit, and able to dig it back down.
All right, Tetris for Dangler. And Miles, as is tradition here tonight, a little bit behind on line count, so we'll see if Miles is able to get caught up on lines here. But Dangler kind of setting the pace, ahead by 100k, but also 20 lines ahead. Blur the Fur saying, Dangler's constantly high board stresses me out. How about you, Alex? You get stressed out whenever you watch some high-level Tetris?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, because I know conceptually what would be needed to survive that situation, but the stakes are very high. When you're all the way that high up on the board, you only have like a little bit of margin for error. It can really go wrong quickly, but Dangler seems to be managing it very well.
Yeah, 100%. If you are going to be a top 8 CTWC player, you definitely have to have your nerves in check, or at least be able to take advantage of them at times, right? Maybe lean into it, depending on kind of person you are.
Yep.
And ooh, look at that little long bar adjustment for Dangler.
Maybe a lot of little adjustments going on in that little short string of pieces.
Square tuck for Miles, looking to get a little bit higher on the left here. That's what stresses me out, is when my left isn't high enough and then I'm getting high in the center, if you know what I mean. So then something's got to give at some point if you don't have that nice slope from like left to right in terms of height.
It's yeah, everyone is throwing tucks around. Miles also with a little J tuck, not wanting to give up any space on that, right?
Ooh, Dangler is once again up high here. But
Burnable, but you need... Yep, okay, there's the J. I was going to say J or T is what you really want there. Still pushing. Okay, single.
Oh my goodness.
Tetris.
I think it's really hard to put into words. Like, that square was only 3 rows from the top, right? So in order to have your follow-up long bar, like, not just instantly top out, you have to really have your timing for, like...
yeah, starting the roll right when the piece is coming out.
Yes. Like, I think people underestimate how well timed it needs to be. Even just being off slightly, that would have been game over for Dangler. And same goes for Miles here.
Miles also up to the top of there.
All right, so Miles has a long bar dependency on the left here. Could have also done a long bar tuck, but I think that was the right move. Kind of just filling that in, taking those burns. Gets the long bar to the left. So some nice 18 stacking from Miles so far. Has a double wide on the right. So pretty much any piece will work there to burn for that Tetris, and boom, Tetris for Miles. Meanwhile, Dangler making their way into level 19. They are Tetris ready. A few options for that, like, kind of T piece. Yeah, set up on the right.
Oh man, just
ooh,
tuck. Yeah, oh, missed the spin at the end, but a lot of creative setups there.
Yeah, that's like 3 tuck setups in a row.
Right, exactly. Okay, and our view of Miles also entering level 19 with a pretty nice score.
Yeah, so just over, it looks like a 563,000. So respectable transition score into level 19. Yeah, Dangler with quite a bit of a line lead currently. So nearly 30 lines. With that being said, I think the pace seems to be pretty close here. Because that's what, like, about 5 or 6 Tetrises. Oh, Miles with a
little hiccup.
Yeah, a little bit of a hiccup there. It gets 2 nice
There we
birds to
go.
really clear that up. Gets that long bar to the left, and boom, Tetris for Miles. Dangler. Here's that slope I was talking about from that left to the right. That always makes you really comfortable as a player. So maybe Dangler feeling good about this. A lot of options for setups and easy burns as well. So
Right.
really good board health for Dangler. As I say that, this is getting a little hairy as we're a little higher in the middle now.
Yeah, it started to drought and there wasn't. Ooh, yeah, it can be hard to push that hard for avoiding burns. At some point, you want to.
It's crazy. No, and Dangler
no.
drops out. 867. It's not over though.
Has to be chased.
Yeah, it still has to be chased. And I mean, Miles is kind of up high and no easy Tetris burn just yet. It'd be crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's definitely not over. It's doable, but not over. Oh, what is this? Center? Okay, good. Burns it down. I was gonna say, you don't want the center well up that high. I don't think that was what you wanted to
develop. If you're Miles' shoes right now, you definitely want to
get down.
Yeah. Don't.
Or have the down be available.
Yeah.
Triple? Okay, good. Yeah.
This is the way the story goes here. There's that long bar, and that should do it. Miles is good for game number 3.
Got
GG's. Dangler, thank you for making it out, and for sorry for the delay on a few of those games, but happy to have you, and I'm happy to cast my first game of Dangler Tetris. So I'm sure we will see more Dangler in the very near future, whether it's a regional event or whether it's the next CTWC, but looking forward to future Dangler play. And looks like Miles is mullining a little bit here, but yeah, nice stuff. I guess we can let Miles mullin, and Tristop. Make sure Tristop is aware that they are up to deck here. So here we are with that crazy rolling gameplay. Just like Ben Mullen would do in this Mullen, isn't that right, Alex?
Yeah, well, he wasn't, you know, the lore of that was he was encouraged to keep going.
Right. Never give up, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So we associate it with Mullen, but, you know.
Yeah.
He, in a way, he was asked to keep going.
So this is an authentic Mullen, as we have allowed Miles to keep going here. All right, so Tetris for Miles. Yeah, got a GG for Dangler in YouTube chat. Dangled too closely to the top.
Ooh, I liked that.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like when you already have the lead, you can kind of get comfortable here and probably have some fun with it, as we see with this super high center will.
Doing some crazy stuff to keep hitting Tetrises. Oh, no.
Right.
Good game.
GG. So next up, we will have Tristop versus Miles. Looks like it's not quite up to date yet, but all right. So Miles, stick around, and Tristop, get ready for our final match of the night. So thank you, everyone that has been tuning in. I think I'll do a giveaway right now, because why not? Got to do them at some point. So type in Block Party in the chat if you haven't already to be entered to win here. I'm about to do a drawing. We'll do some more at the end of the stream as well. I am rolling it. So who do we got? Who do we got? Kitticott, if you are watching, you have won a Tetris Effect connected game code. Congratulations. I think that is a familiar name. I believe they are in the community, so I will reach out to you. You know what? Let's just do one more while I'm already up here. And we'll do one more after the final. Love Technique. Is there a Love Technique in the chat? You are also a winner. Following since August 21st, 2022. Looks like your patronage has paid off. All right, yeah, but keep entering Block Party if you want to be entered into our final drawing before we close out the stream. And yeah, so up next we are going to have Miles versus Tristop. We actually have some wonderful player banners. Let's show these off for our finals. And that is not the score, actually. Let's get rid of the score for a moment. Oh, so close. Okay, Miles versus Tristop coming up. It is also a best of 3. Thank you for everyone that has been tuning in so far. And we're about to get this started. All right, looks like Tristop is warming up here. I think Miles is also hanging around. And once these players are ready, let's get the score reset. Ooh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Okay, so Tristop versus Miles for our final game of the night for the Tetris Block Party. And definitely more action coming tomorrow and the next few weekends. If you want to participate, head to start.gg/Tetris to learn more. If you're interested in playing in some tournaments or our future party nights, all the information will be there for you. Start.gg/Tetris. All right, so Tristop and Miles, looks like they're getting set up here. Miles also getting a snack, tactical snack. I can totally relate to that. If I am hungry, I do not play very well when it comes to Tetris. Welcome in, Blue Scooty's grandpa. Happy to have you in here. And good luck to Blue Scooty at the, I believe they're at the regional event tomorrow in Texas. All right, if you had to put money on it, Alex, who do you take, Tristop or Miles?
Oh, gosh.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but usually if you have to put money on it, you really have to think about it, right?
I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to answer either way. I think they're both so strong. It's really hard. I feel like that's the thing with classic Tetris. You want to root for everybody.
Yeah.
You just see their battles. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I think I totally agree, and I usually can't have a direct answer for you. If I have an answer, it's a lie, because you can't really. Of course, you're going to have some players that are definitely super favored if there's like a dark horse or somebody like really getting lucky or something like that. But when it comes down to like the top 8 or top 16 players, it's really hard to really know who's going to win. Usually it just comes down to who's having a good day, who's really in the right mindset, right? Like even little things like that will go a long way when players are so evenly skilled and super high skilled, right? So
Yeah, and the other thing that's tricky is like I saw Tristop's crazy run during CTWC, so like it's not like I can just say like, oh, like this is how it should be based on past performances or ELO or something like that. I mean, like I know that both of these players have that that competitive spirit in them and can make the right thing happen when they need to. So it's for me it's a coin flip.
all right. And yeah, like you said, like a lot of these players in the community are our friends in a way, so it almost feels wrong to like say I want to take one
I
player
know.
over the other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just goes to show how tight knit the Tetris community is at the same time. Because I always feel bad if I like say a favorite, unless I'm joking like between friends or something. But
Yeah, it's tough. It's like which of my friends am I going to bet on?
Right.
I want both of them to do as well as they can. So
Okay. So I think both players are ready. I got to refresh on Miles just in case. And yeah, we're about to hop into it. So both players are ready. I'm going to put in a countdown. And we'll get started. Good luck. Have fun. Let's do a 4. Can we do a 4 countdown? We can.
nice.
4,
Every
3,
number.
2, 1. Tetris. And any subsequent seconds are our stream delay. Looks like Tristop is more in sync with us. This time, actually, okay. It seems like
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good this time.
We've exercised some of the Twitch demons.
Yes.
Ooh, dang. Tristop, I was gonna say, with a 3 burn start, but we may be putting more burns on top of that. That is Tetrisable, okay. First Tetris of the round, good. But that's gonna be entering with a deficit compared to where Miles is at, I think. In the end, actually comes out relatively close. I guess Tristop has 2 additional burns.
All right. So yeah, Tristop with this 3 wide whale, filling it in pretty quickly with that double J combo, and Tetris for Tristop.
Oh, now we're exact.
Oh yeah, exactly the same score. You love to see it.
That's where you get your 1 pushdown point.
Yeah, you might as well get the pushdown points.
The insurance policy.
Yeah. Were you ever a player that would try to go for pushdown points, Alex, or did you always kind of avoid that?
Not too much. Like in a normal tournament match, no. And it's funny. It was in a side tournament bracket, but it was a no next box tournament, and if I had to just push down 1 point, I would have been able to take down a match. Like if either of us had been able to push down just 1 point, it was a 0-line game from both of us on one of those. So.
Oh wow.
I think we're playing level 15 no next box, which is really tough for a DAS player.
Oh, no next box is a lot of fun. But yeah, like you mentioned, if you are a DAS player, you gotta really have that instinctual stacking that comes with some brutal forms of Tetris. But yeah, these players are... Looks like Tristop did pull a little bit ahead here, just by about 3 Tetrises.
Yep, no pushdown point needed.
Nope. All right, Tetris for Miles. And who is going to take game number 1, chat? Let us know. If you're anything like us, though, you may not have a favorite or might feel bad to have a favorite. I'll try to set up a channel point gamble for this next game. That's when we really know what you guys think.
Putting your internet points on the line.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the misflip. But generally, yeah, Tristop's game is looking pretty good. Oh, and then was able to clean it up good, too. We're both pretty close in lines. Tristop's ahead by, 40k.
All right, yeah, Tetris for Tristop there. And Tetris for Miles. Approaching the, I can't remember who called it the turn. Was it Joey Parker? Somebody in our community.
Yeah, I think Bidwell or King was calling it the Joey Parker turn, I think.
Yes. My memory serves me correctly, it sounds like. So, yeah, the turn at 100 lines. And, yeah, rough misdrop from Tristop.
Fixable like that. I see the vision. Let's see if this cleans. Okay. And then the J will work there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep, we're able to skim that off horizontally and maybe even... Oh, yeah, I was going to say, like, we're going to try to, like, slide some stuff under there, because this is where you can, like, start getting eyepieces, and then... No, I think we're just going to burn it off the top. That is sensible. Okay, we're back. We're back to A field. Still cleaning up.
Gets a nice L spin in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that pretty much allowed Miles to get back into neck and neck range with Tristop here. Tristop with that left wheel Tetris is going to move back to this right wheel, given the pieces allow for that. Why is it called the Joey Parker turn? That is a good question. Maybe that might be a better question for Kingsman, unless Alex knows this as well. But I believe that's just what...
I don't know why they decided to name it after Joey Parker.
That's a tough question. I assume that's just something Joey Parker called it, and then King or Bidwell.
The turn, and then, yeah, King or Bidwell decided to call it the Joey Parker turn in specific. Probably, oh, nice double tuck there from Tristop. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Spicy. Yeah, that pulled me right back to the game. We're trying to figure out why they called things. I'm like, no, that is a move. It needs to be commented on. That is a tricky one to do at level 19 speed.
Yeah, I see a few head shakes here from Tristop. Maybe their input not feeling too happy with their input, but as we saw with that brutal misdrop earlier too. But making some good decisions following some of these misdrops, and that's really what will separate our players, right? Everyone's going to misdrop at some point. Knowing how to handle that and deal with it effectively is part of the meta puzzles that you mentioned earlier. So, Miles up a bit high here.
Ooh. But hitting some of those taps. But you have to keep burying that. Like, can't keep it open long enough to actually fix it. And we have a little bit of stream lag, so I don't know what's happening. Okay, here we go. Got the L over. Oh. It's looking livable.
So far, so good.
Double by double.
Yeah,
double by double. All those L's, perfect.
Amazing piece
we're out of
and it handled very well for Miles there. It's one thing just to get the right pieces, but you still have to execute it right. Given you have a shorter time to process like what you want to do with those upcoming pieces when you're up higher on the board. So very well executed from Miles.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Tristop was piling it on during that period of time, so there's now a 120k or so point deficit. So it's gonna be a hard last leg of the game.
All right, so Tetris for Tristop, and Miles set up for one Tetris here. But yeah, as you mentioned, I think Miles is going to have to play a little bit of catch up here, especially looking like it's going to have to come down to really clean 29 plus play if we manage to get to that stage. And if you're Tristop, you just got to keep piling it on and hope to maybe dial it back a little bit if you have this. Even this like 100k lead though can be
surmountable, right?
Yes, yeah. So and look, like Tristop already running into some issues here, so Miles will be able to catch up pretty quickly if Miles keeps it clean.
Yeah, Tristop needs to get out, and it's now 29.
It's very tough execution.
Good calls though.
Oh my god, I got that
on this
square
dig.
Oh
no, the snake burst there, all those S's and Z's.
Oh man. So just 50k needed here for Miles. A47 will do it. 1,047,000. And not the best board for Miles either, though.
No, yeah, it's not free. It can be lined out, but it's tough.
Miles, I believe Miles is what they call a gamer, and is doing a pretty good job working their way through this here. Look at that. Let's just set another day for Miles the Great here.
Oh, ending it on a Tetris.
Is that a flex? I'm
That's
not
the
sure.
game.
I think that might be bad manners for Miles. I'm not too sure. Totally joking, by the way.
You know,
but, yeah.
I think it was fair play.
Yeah.
GG's.
All right. GG. Miles taking it. 1-0.
Our players are in good spirits. We don't know exactly what they're laughing about, but they're
knowing them, they might be in a VC or something.
I think they're talking to each other. Yes, possibly.
Not really anything on the line here. We're just having fun tonight. So sometimes the best gameplay comes from that too, and there's no pressure. Okay, so ready for game number 2 once these players have their seeds set up here. Tivo saying that was wild. Could not agree more. Got a Let's Go Tristop from Kuro Fox. And yeah, once I get it ready from these players, looks like Tristop's ready. Oh, both players are ready. Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna count down. 3, 2, 1. Actually, can we do 6 this time? We can. Counting from 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Tris. All right. I think I nailed it there. At least for Tristop.
Yep. The echo stopped right with the Tristop at the beginning.
And welcome in, Avericks. Anyone just tuning in, we are going to do one more giveaway for a copy of Tetris Effect Connected tonight. Type in Block Party in the chat for your chance to win.
Nice, good setups for both players.
A little bit of a mess from Miles, but that triple should be really helpful. Given that lumbar appears there. All right. Data Spree has it correctly. So Block Party, one word. Block Party, one word. Ooh, Tristop is up super high here, Alex. Does get the
Yeah.
right piece.
Yeah, I was like looking. I was like, okay, this still looks livable, but yeah, the players are scaring us today. They're pushing it all the way to the top.
We become so confident in these players that we don't expect an 18 top out usually, but it does happen.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, do I comment on this yet, or like, it's up there, but it looks like they're still getting the pieces to make it work.
All right, double Tetris for Miles, and
A little bit of a gap there that will
yeah.
turn this one into a split double.
So at this point, I think Miles is probably going to try to stack over it. They could even try to wait until they could try to get a Tetris within that column 3, given a certain amount of time here.
Right.
We'll see how aggressive they decide to play.
Oh, nice little delayed burn setups. I think that's the right with the pieces. Yeah, but it's really the game is fighting with Miles right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah, burn that.
There was a Tetris setup that would have been absolutely bonkers to go for, but it looks like Miles does burn appropriately, and it's back to that too high Tetris setup. And there it is.
Off the bottom. There we go. There's the first one. Yeah, and I think, when you're playing 18, it's kind of sensible. You can try to, especially with the rolling, move range, you can kind of try to play it a little bit off the bottom and then hope you get enough Tetrises before the next transition to eventually cash in on the holes that are waiting beneath.
Yeah, and you know what? A bit of a drought here for Miles, given that too high.
Tristop also playing like right up to the top. They're both fighting with whatever this drought situation is.
Exactly, it is same piece sets.
Yeah.
Miles got that first long bar that Tristop happened to get earlier, but they were not open for business. But there we go.
Oh, nice adjustment there to make sure they had space for the upcoming J.
Very nice. All right, Tetris for Tristop. And Tetris for Miles. Miles in a bit of a suffer game here, especially for someone of his skill level, right? Just a lot of droughts and also having to work through some of those earlier burns. So not a bad score by any means for the average player here, but 296k at 106 lines, and meanwhile we got Tristop 430k at 112 lines.
Right. Ooh, tried to cross the playfield with that.
It kind of worked out.
Still cleaned it up pretty well.
Kind of worked out. Might have missed out on a Tetris given they used 2 long bars there, but either way, finally a clean stack.
Yep, still able to hit them. Oh, what? Ooh, passing up on more Tetrises. Interesting situations.
Yeah, I kind of like that setup that Miles went with. I feel like there was a few different ways to solve that. Still a bit tricky and may have cost some Tetrises, as you mentioned, but there we go. So set up for this column 3 Tetris. There we go. And that's going to put Miles into level 19 speed.
Tristop also at level 19, one off the bottom, coming up right up to the ceiling. This could end right now if the pieces don't come. Nice burn there. Gets the L over. Needs something. Okay, now it's dependent. Not even just a 3 wide. Oh, gets the triple there. Okay, it's open back up. Really needs to get back down. Oh no, no.
Wait, Miles in trouble too? What is this?
Oh,
so Tristop is good.
Tristop is good. Okay, maybe they were chatting. They already knew that it ended at 400. Goodness. Okay, wow.
So Tristop
34 bar transition in chat. And Tristop saying there's only 34 bars up to transition. That's abysmal. That's such a suffer game.
Do we want that reroll for Superstition? That was crazy. That was a brutal game. Like, we saw it firsthand because we kind of had our eyes on Miles for a while there while he was stacking two rows high, right? Tristop had to go through that same pressure without the long bars too. But that was a brutal game for sure. So that means we will have our final game of the night. Decider between Tristop and Miles. for the what could have happened CTWC 2024 bracket. Although I guess these are all best of threes as well, so we're definitely just having fun. And yeah, let's see how this pans out here. So once the players are ready, looks like Tristop is ready. And Miles is ready, so let's do it. I don't know how high I can count down, Alex. I don't know what the limit of the bot is here, but we could even go
maybe
for
9.
2. We could do a quick. Let's do a rapid
fast
fire.
one.
Yeah.
2-1 Tetris.
Oh, there is no 2. I think
It goes down to 3 maybe.
We need
9.
to have that. Let's go for a 7 then.
Okay.
All right. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And we're off for our final game of the night. And yeah, stream a bit longer than expected, so thanks for sticking it out, Alex, and everyone that hopped in the Game Boy session earlier. Definitely looking forward to looking through some of your VODs for everyone that participated and checking out everyone's high scores. We'll put together some resources for that. And yeah, of course, it's always a treat to watch some of these high-level players, Tristop, Dingler, Miles, and Sodium. But yeah, looks like we're off to a fairly clean start. Only 1 Tetris for Tristop so far, but there's that second Tetris.
Yeah, for when I was like, oh, is this gonna be another suffer situation? There was a lot of S's and Z's early on. No bars quite in the beginning, but starting to get some Tetrises put in there. So hopefully it'll work out for our players. Get some good scoring games going.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Tristop not wanting to take that triple. Looking for Tetris here. I like that that burn setup, but this is pretty a little bit greedy.
Pretty aggressive. Yeah.
No long bars.
No.
Oh my god.
There it comes. So it did pay, but there is still some residue to deal with.
High too.
Oh man.
Seems like these players are getting some brutal sequences so far tonight.
They're dealing with it though.
Yeah, they
got out of it.
All right, Tetris for Miles. About a 1 Tetris lead for Tristop, but they're also ahead by 3 lines, so checks out. We are neck and neck here. All right.
Yep, it's looking good. Both players back to scoring position.
Miles avoiding that T-spin setup.
I was looking for it. I was ready to comment on it if it happened, but
yeah. I think that's the right move though. To be honest, just fill out the left. I guess you could have technically been like Tetris ready sooner if you went for the T-spin, but if you mess up that T-spin, it could also cause issues.
It's a bigger problem. Yeah. You want to look for the other pieces first if you can.
And given how these games have been going, I don't fault Miles for keeping it a little safer than usual.
Yeah.
As you may see in the banner, if you hit that register command, it will take you to start.gg/Tetris if you are interested in playing in any Tetris Block Party tournaments. Our first one is tomorrow, which is a classic score attack on Tetris Effect Connected, which is what you're watching now, just done on is within Tetris Effect Connected with cross-platform multiplayer and ranked, etc. So, yeah, definitely check it out if you're looking for that competitive experience. If you're brand new or an experienced player, We got a bracket for you. The Joey Parker turn has come and gone as Miles is sitting at 420k, Tristop 380k. So only 2 Tetrises separating these players, and I assume we're going to have some ebb and flow depending on if players mis-execute any taps or anything like that. Hopefully it comes down to the wire. That's what I always hope for. Alex is just a game that comes down to that one push down point on level 39. We'll see if we can get that here tonight.
Yep, still very close.
We are approaching that level 19. Players are Tetris ready. So Alex, are you a player that prefers to, when you are on 19 speeds, especially I guess for DAS, are you usually favoring getting, what's your mindset for like the first step? Do you like to get Tetris ready right away, or do you prioritize board health more than anything?
I think it depends on what the game situation is. For a DAS player, sometimes what you'll do is just kind of burn down that first level if you're going in with like too much board height. You can't really like wait that long for the Tetris. I think that's less of a consideration for these players. Like, yes, they need to be ready for the speed bump, but they do have a higher ceiling of where they can manipulate the pieces. As long as things are clean enough, they can kind of just roll with it, I think. But yes, especially for a DAS player, you kind of want to look at where you are. If you're going into 19 and the stack is like high, then you kind of want to burn down a little bit first. You don't want to wait. Ooh.
Got a rough misdrop there from Tristop. Fortunate timing on that long bar to bring it down to a more comfortable space.
Yeah, it was like there was like a teaspoon sit-up hidden under all of the cheese, basically.
Ooh, set up for the Tetris. Are they going to get it this time?
Oh, don't gamble too hard. Okay, good. Hit a double. This. Oh yeah, okay.
I like that. Yeah, taking that.
Nice adjustment. Yeah. Triple. Yeah. Okay. I think we're all in agreement here.
They started off risky, then I think I like how Tristop spotted. There's like a small adjustment where if they kept stacking that way, just because of like, I don't know if the parity is a word for it, but if they kept stacking on the
it'd have been like
it would have
dependent.
been kind of bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, definitely calculated.
Got our way to safety, and there's the Tetris.
Tetris for Tristop. And meanwhile, Miles getting a pretty significant lead. Pretty much the same line count, and about 130,000 points in the lead here for Miles. So, pressure on Tristop to kind of maintain score efficiency. Although, I don't know if the players are going to try to play into the trend of what's been happening so far. Like, both players are kind of running into misdrops, so it might be playing... I don't know if you ever try to adapt to your opponent, or if these players do in this situation, but you could play even more conservative than usual if you think your opponent might top out given their current mindset. But also, I know these players have probably played so many games with each other to the point where it's like they respect their opponent and they're just going to play their best, whatever happens, as if they're kind of in a single player mindset sometimes too, right? Ooh, look at that L hang from Miles. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, I think there's like some adjustment that you can kind of do in terms of, you don't want to just keep pushing for Tetrises if your opponent has topped out already, or like if you see or sometimes if the deficit is big enough. But I feel like because anything can happen in these games, I think players more often in the current meta are just pushing for efficiency as much as they can. Like, you don't want to like completely let your foot off the gas. But
ooh,
man, they're stacking up to the ceiling.
Tristop tops out right into 29. It looks like they fumbled getting that long bar to the far left.
They both were right up at the top there. Yeah, that was tough.
All right, so that makes Miles our Tetris Block Party winner here. GG's. Hello, Tristop. It was nice seeing you tonight, but we will have to say goodbye for now. Thanks for lending your time and showing off your skills. But Miles is our What If CTWC 2024 bracket winner. This is the Block Party timeline. If we have somebody went down this timeline at CTWC, but all right. So Miles takes it 2-0 for our final game. GG's. So let's get our wonderful winner graphic up here for Miles. There we go. Miles are great. Our Tetris Block Party winner tonight for our party night. And yes, thank you for all of our players for participating, whether you were in the gameplay portion earlier tonight or took place in tonight's showcase. It's always a pleasure to commentate some Tetris, especially alongside Alex Kerr here, which I don't think we've really done any commentary in this fashion before. But yeah, thank you for joining me tonight, Alex, and possibly we'll have you on for TGM or something here in the future. But yeah, always a pleasure to hear you commentate and hear what you have to say about the game, because I feel like you are one of those Tetris heads out there that I like to pick apart a little bit. So thanks for joining tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we'll see if the Tetris Block Party winner is a sign of things to come. Maybe this will be our top 4 in 2025. That'd be crazy, actually. I would totally take advantage of that on socials if that's the case. So hopefully Miles, Tristop, Dangler, and Sodium see you guys in the top 4 CTWC 2025. And the prophecy is here. Okay,
looking forward to it.
We are going to do our final giveaway. If you haven't already entered Block Party in the chat, do so now. Just Block Party, one word. And yeah, we're about to do a giveaway. So we'll give that 10 seconds. You're welcome, Tristop, Miles. Thanks for participating tonight. Always a pleasure to have you two on board. And I haven't had the chance to commentate NES Tetris in a while, so it was a lot of fun. Looks like we're getting a few more block parties in there. I'll give you 10 seconds to type it in. Alex, you can throw one in too if you want, but that would look bad if you won. It might look a little right.
That's good. I'll let somebody else take their chance at it. I've got my Tetris Effect on PS4 and PC.
Yes. It's pretty much on any platform out there, and depending on what your platform is, we'll try to get the proper game code for you.
And when he means every platform, he really means like
really
every platform.
Yes.
Like some platforms you might not have realized existed in some cases. So
looks like Nightbot picked Retro Cabeza, who is actually a pretty active member at our TEC community. I know they already have a copy, but Retro Cabeza, this is a good time to shout them out. They host Latin American tournaments, so perhaps they can carry it forward and give the code to someone within their community. So yeah, that's awesome. So we will be reaching out to you. All right, so we'll take a final look at our bracket here and call it a night. Let's see if our bracket's up to date here. It is not. Let's get our bracket up to date, and we'll call it a night here. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Let's see. You know what? Maybe I won't be able to get up to. We'll have our beautiful bracket up to date for our social graphic later. But there we go. So Miles is our winner, and thank you everyone that participated in the Game Boy earlier, as I mentioned. Let's take a look at our schedule for upcoming events. So Tetris Grandmaster next week, as well as Tetris Effect Connected the following weekend for our party nights, that is, alongside Tetris Mobile and Tetris.com. And then tournaments, we have Classic Score Attack tomorrow. Registration is still open for that if you'd like to participate. And then Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 next weekend, and Tetris Effect Connected Zone Battle the following weekend. So looking forward to those tournaments. You can still register at start.gg/Tetris. Oh, Light Rod's saying the bracket should be up to date. Let me see. There we go. We got our wonderful winner graphic in all its glory. Miles is our winner. So Tristop taking out Sodium earlier, and Miles taking out Dangler, and then Miles taking out Tristop in our final game. Yeah, so classic score attack tomorrow. Where is our... I do have a TEC CSA graphic, I believe. Here we go. Yeah, so you can play exactly what you kind of saw within Tetris Effect Connected. And like Alex said, it's on pretty much every platform out there. Let me see if I can rapid fire it real quick. So we got MetaQuest, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, Steam, Epic Game Store, Amazon Luna, is that Nintendo Switch? Last but not least, Nintendo Switch. So yeah, we'll have a tournament in Classic Tetris multiplayer on Tetris Effect tomorrow. So be sure to sign up if you're interested. And all skill levels are encouraged to participate. All right, so with that being said, I think that is it for the night. Alex, definitely a big thank you for spending your time with me tonight. It is very appreciated. And yeah, hopefully we can talk some more in the future, talk some Tetris.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be here, and glad we got to, to geek out about our favorite game.
All right, so we're going to call it there. And in the stream, wherever you're watching from, whether it's official Tetris or one of our enhanced channels or the Classic Tetris channel. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. And we will see you all tomorrow for our Grandmasters broadcast at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm not too good with my time zones to do the rest, but yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. So thank you everyone for tuning in.